Here it goes. I am a girl. I am a trans woman. My new pronouns are she and they. And I suppose that this is my coming out video of sorts. Day one of being a girl, and I have already cried 3 times. City girls don't need a lot of makeup, but they can if they want to. If you run into me on the street, say hi. I'll have a tampon for ya. Love ya.
Well, hello. Good evening, boys. How have you been?
Man.
Been alright.
It's good. We got a special... I don't want to call it a surprise, because it's obviously not a surprise. You all knew this was coming. I've mentioned it before. But it is something some of you are not familiar with. So, we are learning about a character from TikTok, our favorite application, named Dylan Mulvaney. Now, who, before I brought him up, or her up, well, we'll get into that. Before I brought this person to your attention, who else had heard of this person before?
The only reason I've heard of Dylan Mulvaney is because of like outrage Twitter posts about Alta.
Yeah, same here.
Are they related to John Mulaney?
No.
I don't believe
No, it's Mulvaney.
So. It's Mulvaney, first of
all. Okay.
Dabbles, did you heard of this person?
Are they the nuclear thing?
No, that's Sam something. Sam was in one of our videos.
Yeah, it was in the non-binary pronouns episode.
Okay.
Sam Britton
or
something. Yeah.
I've definitely watched that one.
Yeah. That's a totally different person. This person is not yet in the government, though I can only assume many government institutions are chasing them down for the resume, because that's how this works.
Secretary of Transportation
On the
or something, you know, some bullshit position.
Exactly, where they can really brag about their hiring practices.
They have an internship, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. But currently this person is just a TikTok star, and they blew up all over TikTok for their Days of Girlhood series.
Like sand through the hourglass.
Yes. And so I think they're up to something like 200 days or so. I had another video that was more of the days. We're just going to look at a couple, I think the first 15 days. But there's another compilation you'd find on YouTube that's over 2 hours long. So if you really want to punish yourself,
holy shit,
you can go watch that. But we have just a shorter one here. And I've also included in the list some other videos of interest of Dylan. As they've gotten more and more attention, they've also gotten a lot more press.
Yeah.
And you know what? Can I just point out that you are using pronouns correctly according to the notes on the Wikipedia article? Mulvaney uses both she, her, and they, them pronouns.
Okay. Yeah, that's for
look at us.
Common. And in fact, as I understand it, Dylan came out as non-binary first.
Oh, it's kind of on the fence.
Yeah. This is sort of typical. You can also find a picture of pre-transition Dylan with... Oh, someone's gonna have to remind me. Who's the trans man who was an actress and then transitioned?
Elliot Page?
Elliot Page.
Yeah. You can find a picture of Dylan and Ellen Page. Together.
Before both of them transition?
Pre-transition.
Can we ship those two couples together?
Yes. that was my tweet.
with their previous former selves.
That was my tweet. What if they dated? And I think the first contact I had with Dylan was I saw a video. Someone was streaming and showed a video of Dylan saying that they used to be gay. But then told their parents that no, now they're interested in women, and their parents were kind of relieved.
Oh, okay.
And said, "Oh, well, you'll be able to get some girl pregnant." And they said, "No, I'm the one who's going to get pregnant."
Oh, they're into Mpreg too.
I know. So this is like the perfect topic.
I know.
So Dylan came out as gay, and the parents didn't like it, and now Dylan is trans.
And now Dylan is lesbian, I guess.
I mean, that's an interesting good news, bad news argument. Good news, guys, I'm not gay anymore, technically.
Well, that is just gay the other direction. Is he?
You know, I mean, take the Helen Joyce trans book with a big grain of salt, because it's, you know, Helen Joyce. She obviously has an angle she's working, but she does talk about parents that she's interviewed or parents that have been interviewed at gender clinics that really are like, you know what, I just don't want a gay son. I think he might be a girl.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of debate about Dylan. You'll find videos if you search their name on YouTube of people calling Dylan a grifter or a fake. This person did used to be an actor. Oh. I don't know that they're continuing in their acting career, but that's kind of the question, isn't it? So I'm thinking as we go through at least the TikTok compilation portion, each of us start to give Dylan a rating, like maybe a grifter rating. How much is this a psyop, and how much of this is genuine in your eyes?
What's the grifter scale?
Do the talking here.
Let's say 100% grift, faking it. 0%, 100% sincere.
Who would represent 100% grifting, and who would represent 100% sincere?
Well, I'm not sure I can represent either, because they both.
Well, we haven't gotten into the videos yet, so I.
No. I mean, like, is like
who would be the comparison
like on a scale from like blank to like Tim Pool is like the grifter.
Well, no, here it is. On a scale of Steven Crowder and drag.
Which is sincere.
Oh yeah, totally. Just like doing it as a joke. Or completely sincere, like Contra, let's say.
Yeah.
I think Contra is sincere, and at least in the sense of like believing what
they are who they say they are.
Well, in the sense of believing what they believe. You're not pretending for attention.
Yeah, I think Contra is pretty genuine.
Okay, so we're all gonna kind of have our own grift scale. So once in a while, I might pause and be like, "How are we feeling?"
Okay.
But Fair also, enough. We should track the costume. Should I say costumes or should I say outfits?
Outfits.
I guess outfits.
Outfits.
First,
we're also gonna look at these outfits. There are a lot of outfits.
Wait a second. We don't even know who's here.
Oh yeah, we haven't done introductions.
Yeah, we haven't introduced ourselves yet. Oops.
We're still doing introductions? I guess we can do introductions. Roll call. Tennyson.
Yo.
Gabbles.
Hello.
Danimal.
Hey Gabbles, what day of girlhood are you on?
Jesus. How old am I?
86.
You're 86 days old?
86 days old. It's a little concerning, I have to say.
Oh, no. That's what I was wondering.
Ripe and fertile for Matt Walsh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Right, birthing age. And it's me, Kava. And lastly, we have Amazil.
Hello, present.
So let's dive in. And then how about we'll watch the first day and then give our first impressions.
Okay.
Day one of being a girl, and I have already cried 3 times. I wrote a scathing email that I did not send. I ordered dresses online that I couldn't afford. And then when someone asked me how I was, I said, I'm fine, when I wasn't fine. So. How'd I do, ladies? Good? Day 2 of being a...
Okay.
Well,
he looks like a particular actor. I don't know who.
It looks like Dylan Mulvaney. That's what I'm
saying. The famous actress, Dylan Mulvaney.
Well, that was day 1. And so far, this person has nailed one thing right about being a woman.
Oh, no.
Telling everyone all the meaningless minutiae of her day and not really looking to see if anybody cares.
That's true. I'm saying genuine 100%. I'm saying Contra.
Totally 100 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was strange. That was strange to kind of boil it down to like stereotypes.
I mean, he's got the spiteful bitchiness, right? Is that
is it
I wouldn't say spiteful, but just...
I got those passive-aggressive undertones with how much they're leaning on certain stereotypes.
Like, it just comes off...
Oh, hang on. Just pause for one moment. We are really like stepping all over each other, talking a bunch. We got to stop doing that.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Tennyson, go ahead, say something and I'll...
Well, it didn't really come off so much as passive aggressive as it just came off as more annoying, really. Like that sort of special annoying that you only see in like the woman in the office who tells everybody about all the little things that she did over the weekend. Like she went to take her kids to soccer practice or whatever, and you're just sitting there trapped, and you can't really say no or just walk away because that would be rude. And so you're just stuck listening to all this boring, unimportant minutia that she's going through. It kind of had that feel to it.
Okay,
so you're on the sincere side?
Sincere?
Yeah.
Amazon?
No, I mean, like, I'm more talking about, like, the fucking leaning really hard into the feminine stereotypes of, like, catty women. Like, everything is...
It could be, like, a comedic thing. That's how it kind of strikes me, as sort of a joking. But also
that's what...
But it's still...
but also kind of not, in a weird way.
Yeah, that's the sense I got, is that it's kind of like a satire to be like, look, I'm a woman, I got emotional, right, ladies?
Right, ladies? How'd I do, ladies? There's going to be a lot of that. Just a warning. Constant looks for affirmation.
Yeah.
Which,
I mean, it seems to be jokey, like, you know, I mean, transitioning can't be an easy thing. I don't think that anybody would characterize it as an easy thing. So maybe it's just gallows humor about, you know, maybe it's that.
Perhaps.
That's possible. All right, let's do day 2.
A woman. I am at the Rose Bowl flea market with my best friend, and we are wearing matching dresses, and I'm here to buy some femme gorge lady clothes. Let's see what I find. My current style is all over the place, but I just know I like to look fun. Hanging with the girlies. Woohoo! This is giving Heidi. This is giving Carrie Bradshaw. Almost bought this Audrey portrait. I just love her. She's everything I want to be. Almost bought this. I just didn't know what to put under it. But let's see what I actually did buy. I bought this vintage dress that I just loved the collar. I loved the leg slit. I bought a little crystal necklace, and then I thought I could pair it with some little nude boots. But what do we think? It's simple, but I think sometimes simple is good. What do we think, ladies? I also bought these little dolphin shorts from the 70s that zip in the back.
Boy.
I mean, cute. Lastly, I bought these obnoxiously large
hang on. Whoa, you gotta pause. Okay. Oh my god. It's like a full-grown Chucky.
It's like a Cabbage Patch doll that fell into toxic waste.
Yeah, speaking of Cabbage.
Yeah, where are those Cabbage Patch dolls? You saw them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is just... It's kind of, to me, it's like sad almost.
Yeah.
Because you can... That body... No one's gonna be convinced by that body. That is the most masculine frame.
Well, especially, I think I may have pointed this out in a Philosophy Tube video, not one that we watched, but one where, like, you know how Philosophy Tube does like costume changes and things like that.
Yeah.
But there was one costume that she did where it was like, it was a women's coat, but it was a man cut coat. Like that's a style for like to get like kind of big, like billowy shoulders, that it's a man cut on a woman's frame. But Philosophy Tube wore it, and it fit like it was like supposed to, like with her shoulders. And it's like, oh, like that's gotta be tough for a trans woman. You really can't wear. You gotta wear clothes that don't accentuate your masculine frame that you can't do anything about. You know, and like you
gotta cover that up.
Yeah, or they de-emphasize it elsewhere. You know, there's things that you can do to de-emphasize it, but like this, like, come on, Dylan.
I will say, like, the sundress wasn't that bad. Like, that was okay. This. It doesn't even look like it's like for the wrong gender. It's more like it's just ill-fitting. It's like you wore kids' clothes because it's laundry day. And ran out
it
of
looks
shit.
like you don't know how to wear the appropriate size clothing. Like you're a child, or
it's
no,
like
you're an adult trying to wear child's clothing. Yeah, that's.
It looks like a funny Chucky Halloween costume. Like, wouldn't it be funny if Chucky was grown up? Like, that's what it kind of looks like.
And then the
Slutty
jewelry,
Chucky.
the big clunky heart jewelry.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes women have bad taste in jewelry, and they wear that big costume jewelry.
Yeah.
I've seen
it's
that.
a big gauche, as they say.
Gavels, any opinions on costume jewelry?
I hate jewelry.
What?
Do you not support
Do you
the
like
diamonds?
Do you like giant heart-shaped pink crystals?
No.
All right, Tenny, any thoughts so far?
I mean, it's weird because the first one, first video we saw was sort of like it's almost a stereotypical portrait of a catty woman. This video came off more like a stereotype of a catty gay guy. All the shopping, the gorgeous clothing, that the fawning over all the stuff that she bought. It's weird. It's a weird contrast almost.
It's definitely more sincere than the first one. I don't think there's anything funny or either intentionally or really unintentionally here, except maybe the clothing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the sense I got, was that this one is far more sincere with less
like
tongue in cheek.
A day in the life. Here we go. I'm going shopping. That's what girls do. We go shopping and we buy dresses.
Or gay men.
Yeah.
Or gay men.
Just as somebody who has partook in these types of activities, yeah.
Oh.
Tenny kind of nailed it. Not buying dresses, no.
Come on. Please.
But definitely like
Just for
flea
the
market
show.
shopping and just being excited about like the cool retro kitschy, remember John Waters'
Audrey
character in The
Hepburn.
Simpsons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like John
Almost-
Waters' character in The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Love you. Day 3 of being a girl, and I've already become a bimbo. With the queen herself, we are drinking martinis at 2:55 on a Monday on Sunset Boulevard, and then we're going makeup shopping. We love it. Cheers. Chrissy?
Oh.
Oh, no.
Please don't go.
Can we let this roll? Can we let this roll some sound on the pause?
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
The bimbos are bimboing.
but whoa.
You need it. You literally need that. This way.
Here, we can pause it here.
Yeah.
We gotta talk
We
about
gotta
the
decompress.
we gotta talk about the
There's just so much to unpack here. So let's
the
unpack
bimbo
this.
thing. Let's tackle the bimbo thing right up
Yeah.
front.
Okay, yeah.
So, who wants to start?
So I don't know much. We were joking about it on one of the servers, and I don't know much about it. But this sissy hypno
Mm-hmm.
kink, right? It's like sissy hypno kink, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
I may have read up a little bit about it on like a Wikipedia website just to kind of see what the fuck it was.
Just to combat
Just
yourself
to
in case
investigate.
you're trying to
Just to investigate.
For a friend.
And like
Investigate. Mm-hmm.
and like bimbo seems to be a term that's used in that.
yes.
And
bimbo
just I don't
fetish.
know much more than beyond that, but I'm just putting that out there. Maybe somebody in the audience knows more about
If you go
sissy hypno kink.
to DeviantArt, you can look up bimbofication art. That's all like
You-
transformation fetish stuff where you transform into a bimbo.
In some of it I've seen it's
fucking-
like a masculine guy like transforming
Yeah.
into
Either-
like bimbo
I've
woman.
seen some of this as well, and a lot of these, because there's a shocking amount of like comics that are all about this, and they usually start out with like either a really muscular man or a very schlubby fat guy. And something happens, like maybe he goes to like a bar and takes a weird potion, or he's hit with a wizard attack, or
take
goes
the
I
to a
hate when that
massage,
happens.
or
Oh,
yeah, don't you just hate when like the level 10 mage hits you with a random sex swap potion? But it's usually some kind of catalyst happens very slowly, or sometimes instantaneously turns into the opposite sex. And he goes from like schlubby or unattractive to instantly, a bombshell, blonde, tan, skimpy cocktail dress, stuff like that. So there's like a bimbo.
Okay, so we're going to ignore what Tenny just revealed that he does in his free time.
uh-huh.
And
Hold on. So
Go ahead.
I really need to. I know people are going to be upset that we go
Okay.
back a little bit.
And I've
Yeah.
Just to like,
yeah.
okay. this-
Yeah. Yeah,
this
good. Good. I'm
setup-
glad you did.
So day 3, you're already in a bikini.
Yeah.
Oh, I just
Your
realized
nips
that,
with
yeah.
just your nips covered. Oh, and the heart choker. I watch a
Yeah.
YouTuber.
With the heart
Oh.
glasses.
Oh, and the heart
Yeah.
glasses. The heart choker, though, I know this from
It's
my reading. Is it trans women would be the term, wear chokers to hide their Adam's apple.
Okay.
Oh.
You know what? If that's
Yeah,
if that's a thing, that's a thing. That's
So
fine.
that's
just-
very common. But
I honestly thought the
bikini is
choker-
just- oof.
I honestly thought the choker was more of like a weird kink thing.
That's
you
what
mean
that's
like-
what I was gonna say, but it does make perfect sense that a trans woman would
Yeah,
choose
like
a
all
choker
of
as an
them-
accessory.
All trans women
Yeah.
have these, like
Yeah.
100% of them. And then
Eh.
That
You
moment,
do what you can.
this moment right here.
Yes.
Oh God, why?
Can I just say I'm glad that it's a color that hides the silhouettes. I'm thankful for that.
I know it's not that I'm off put by a bulge.
At least Dylan's fit,
Yeah,
but not feminine. This is not accentuating any feminine aspect. I'm sorry.
It's like when you see fat girls in spandex. It's like you have to dress for the body that you have and not just the body that you want. You gotta accentuate your own figure.
Yeah, and it's really weird. This person they're with, it's just like, yes, it's perfect, it's great. It's just I can only imagine Dylan only has friends who are like that, just sycophants.
yeah, I would
Constantly
think
sucking up to
so.
them.
I don't know. That old lady seemed pretty nice.
Yeah, but she isn't like complimenting how good they look in a bikini.
Yeah.
And then it keeps going. And this is, the theme again is constant affirmation seeking. How'd I do, ladies? What do you think, ladies? It's
I mean, that is a
it's-
big part of feeling comfortable in yourself is receiving. I mean, they always, it's always a big
but always looking for
trans
it,
argument.
to
though.
me, it's definitely insecurity, which is
Yeah.
It definitely comes off like that. Yeah.
It does come off as attention seeking ish.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
The
this is
bimbos
going on
are
TikTok to
bimbos.
8 million people.
That is true. Yeah.
oh, look at that turn. Look at that.
Oh boy.
Ugh.
This guy. Yeah.
Oh.
And of course, it has like
And
the one
And
song,
the contrast. Oh, that was the other thing. They were playing Barbie Girl.
Barbie Girl.
Yeah, but like a party, like club version of
club
like
remix.
Party Girl or Barbie Girl, like the kind
Yep.
that you would like hear in a gay bar.
Huh.
Wow,
Interesting. That.
interesting.
Did
I
they
like
really
this.
play Aqua in there? I mean, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah, I
what?
mean, last time I was in 125 years ago.
That's when the song came out. That's why.
I love this still right here. It's just
Yeah, it's like
contrast to something, ain't it?
like Leah Thomas on the podium.
I will say her hair makes her look like the brunette friend from Legally Blonde.
Mm.
Oh yeah, totally.
her whole outfit looks like a really bad 60s fashion.
Yeah, it's mod.
Yeah.
Very mod.
It's not
But like
obviously the
Well,
style I would
it's-
go with, but I think for their frame it works here.
This is
It's-
like very, very LA. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Like, this is the
yeah.
most LA thing
Because
we've
it's
ever
very
seen.
because
Oh, yeah.
the dress itself is very flat, so it kind of hides the lack of curvature a bit.
Yeah.
It
I think it's
fits,
better than a bikini. That's all I'm saying.
and it's
Yeah.
better than those children's clothes she was wearing
Yes.
last episode.
So better. I'm gonna up my rating on that.
Yeah,
Alright.
we're going to a 70.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
more-
put a
I-
70.
I'm more in the sincere category than I am in the grifter
Yeah.
category as we're going forward.
I think that this I'm starting to feel a bit more drawn towards the sincerity part because of just how energetic and almost kind of euphoric she seems to be trying to attempt to be.
Yeah.
With all this.
For
It's as if like it's making her I think the feelings that she might have are in a sense kind of genuine because she feels like she's getting validation from other people.
All right.
That might be
Gabbles,
the
any
core
words?
of it.
Oh, go ahead.
Gabbles.
Finish up.
Yeah, that might be I feel like validation and attention seeking might be at the core of a lot of this behavior.
Gabbles, what are your thoughts?
Slowly approaching misogyny.
Left or right? Who would you
Left
take?
or right? Can I 180 degrees?
You don't want the bimbo in the blue either.
No.
She's a little LA. Yeah.
Yeah, too much vocal fry.
Yeah.
Yes, Queen
It's
Slay.
okay. I'm sure she's a
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure she's a kinky bitch. You can gag her.
Oh God.
You probably also buy her with a bag of meth, but we're not-
You guys also
She's like she's like the trophy wife joke character in like a shitty 90s comedy.
yeah.
She's the friend
Yes.
from Legally Blonde.
Yeah, friend from Legally Blonde.
It's
Yeah.
all very dramatic and kind of fake feeling, even though I think
In a
there's like
word.
sincere feelings under it, but it does feel
Mhm.
extremely
exaggerated.
I feel like her like
performative.
Yeah. I don't
her like
think
husband would be like a
approve of
like
this.
64-year-old like judge
Oh yeah.
who's like really
Yeah.
wealthy.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Make me walk,
Oh,
That
that probably hurt. She hit some sternum there.
Oh yeah. today. Oh my god, this color on you. Look at my butt.
She has weird proportions. Am I?
I'm pretty sure she got implants. Yeah.
Yeah, not that I've gazed upon
Judging that much.
that I know women's figures very well, but like she has weird proportions, right? Like she has kind of like dwarf proportions, like a really long
She's
torso.
very short. Yeah, there's something going on there, and I
will
really
not
don't
let you-
like.
I will
I
not
don't
let
like
you
the
slander
green.
my people this way.
Leave those
Oh yeah, that's right.
alone.
You're tiny. I forgot.
Yeah, you're not the tall, skinny bimbo on the left.
Look, 5'6" is the average height. Okay, it's okay.
I'm not
Is this
sure
is so
I like the green?
4.
To be honest.
4. So in the bimbofication meme, Dylan is immediately after the book is picked up, and she is like way, or the book is dropped,
near the
and she is
endgame.
like
Yes.
way. She's on the far end of the scale,
Yeah, you could draw several women in between them.
right?
Before and after, right here before our eyes.
Oh, those tattoos are so bad too. Like,
Yeah.
why do women do that? The like the heart and like the
The weird
like star,
script,
butterfly.
and they put like text under their boob, and it's like, yeah, that looks really tacky.
Because I'm
Yeah.
naughty.
They're so they're it's it is so bad. These tattoos are genuinely terrible.
What's worse, a bicep bro tribal tattoo or these tattoos?
I feel like these tattoos, at least the tribal tattoos, can kind of look cool. They're still
Yeah.
dumb, but at least they kind of look cool.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're from like rural Indiana. Of course they look cool to you.
And I'm from an island, so you know,
Okay.
I can't shit on the fucking tribal tattoos.
Oh, the tribal
too much.
tattoos.
You know?
What is a Maori gonna swim over to you and fucking beat you up?
He's gonna fucking break apart the islands again.
He's gonna put a spear through your chest.
No, he uses a big fish hook. Come on.
Oh,
don't
yeah,
you know
that's right.
He
anything
said
about
Maori,
culture?
not Zulu.
Oh,
Come on, get your stereotypes right.
booga booga.
Zulu is in Africa. Excuse you.
I
I
know.
had that
Okay.
song stuck in my head. Gotta celebrate our
Oh.
differences. Ooga,
Oh yeah.
ooga, ooga.
I thought you were going to talk about an African Bambaataa song, Zulu Nation. And I'm like, oh, you got a Zulu Nation song stuck in your
No,
head?
the
You're cooler
song
than
you
I
were
thought.
referring to was "Scrub Me Mama
Ding
with a
dong,
Booty
ding
Beat."
dong, ding dong, ding. I'm definitely leaving all the racism in, by the way. Okay,
Oh
here we go.
God, Wonder Chosen was such a great show.
What's the address of this? One short day. We shop. It's been an amazing day as a bimbo. I think it's a good
Ooh.
fit for me. What do you think, ladies?
Is that
Love
a
ya.
I think you probably. I'm just saying, when you're like transitioning and you're like kind of early into it, you probably just shouldn't call yourself a bimbo to 8 million people on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm a bimbo. I'm 3 days into girlhood and I'm a bimbo.
Yeah,
It makes it feel sound disingenuous, even if you are sincere.
it's definitely like that. This like day 3 brought the ironic misogyny of day 1 into a different light.
Yeah, I brought it
It's feeling
into the
less
forefront.
ironic as we go
Yeah.
along. Like, oh, do they actually believe this?
Right.
Yeah.
I was wondering that on day 1. I don't know.
Oh, you were
about
ahead of the
guys.
curve.
All right, day 4. Ready?
Girl, and I am exhausted. The hair, the makeup, the clothes, the high heels. It's a lot to keep up with. And I need to learn early on that those things do not make me a girl. It's what's in here that matters. And I actually didn't shave my face today because I was like, Dill, even with your facial hair, you're a girl. And even though I'm having it removed, women can have facial hair and women can have body hair. And that's a beautiful thing. And that you are still a girl, Dylan. Okay? Woohoo. I don't need all those things. I love you. Day 5 of being a girl. And some of you
Oh,
ladies might
well,
remember
it
what
turns out he
happens
needs
on
those things.
So much for that.
No.
That lasted about 2 seconds.
I'm glad that Dylan brought up the facial hair so I didn't have to be the bad guy. But,
It's like the nostalgia critic. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that poor man. Did you see his hairline? Oh, he looks
No.
like an egg.
Oh.
Doug Walker's
Oh.
hairline.
No, nostalgia critic. Sorry, I thought you
yeah.
said AVGN.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh, that
I
poor
thought you
man.
were talking about Dylan. I'm like, is he wearing a wig right now or something?
No, I think Doug Walker's always been bald.
Yeah.
I can't believe I got James Rolfe and Doug Walker mixed up. Oh God. Anyway,
So here we go. We got the choker again.
yeah. Well, like
yeah.
you know,
Necklace. I kind
The
of like this
lady
top.
Doug.
Yeah, but the view
is good, but yeah.
I think it's originally a like there's no fabric in that view window for the cleavage.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dylan might have pinned something there to cover that view window.
Which is weird, right?
No, I mean
they were wearing a whole stringy bikini 2 days ago.
It may just be part of the shirt, actually.
I don't know.
Maybe it's like a weird oscillation between feeling intense, like I want to show off everything, to no, I need to cover up everything, to I don't need those things to be a girl. I'm a girl on the inside, and then immediately going back to all the makeup and all the high heels and all that.
Well, I mean, Dylan's got to see these videos when she uploads them, so she's probably like seeing them and reflecting on them from day to day. Like this has got to be a mind fuck too. I mean, not only are you going through transition, but you're also filming it and putting it into the public for millions of viewers where anybody can comment on it. Like that's got to be a mind fuck in of itself through just transitioning itself is a major deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel this is sad, Cobb. Why'd you pick such a sad topic?
All right, here we go. We're gonna keep watching.
Day 5. Today is the day that we contemplate cutting our own bangs.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Just kidding. Before you start yelling at me, I bought a wig with bangs so we can see what it looks like. Here goes nothing. Uh-oh. What in the berries and cream are we looking at? I'm the berries and cream man's sister right now.
It's your favorite haircut.
I like it. I just don't know if it's like
Shut up,
everyday Dylan, but I'm going to let you cast your votes below. And I think my hair is safe for today.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Gabbles, you still like straight bangs after that? You fucking freak.
Come on.
My opinion of straight bangs is well known in that I think straight bangs are ugly.
It looks really young, like too young for a grown person.
Yeah.
I could excuse it if this were a small child, but that's kind of like the general ethos and the general sense I get anyway. Just overly childlike.
That's what straight bangs always give me the impression that you cut your own hair.
It looks like she's dressed up for being she's like girl number 3 in a grade school play.
Yeah.
It's like, was this Matilda's hairdo? I'm going to pull up a picture of Matilda real quick.
It does strike me as very Matilda-esque.
Right.
I found it. I found the actor that I was thinking of.
The first thing that came up when I Googled Matilda is Trunchbull. All right. Yeah, that is the haircut that that Matilda had. Kind of.
He looks like this guy. I forget what his name is.
Oh, that guy?
Is that Michael from Arrested Development?
Yeah, it's from the Ozark.
Of Jason Bateman?
Jason
Yeah.
Bateman.
Oh, yeah. She
They
does
have the
kind of have that.
jawline and the cheeks. Like,
Yeah, you're right. She does kind of look like Jason Bateman. Oh, my gosh. You got to do something with that jawline then.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Ooh.
You can't do. You
Look,
can't go wrong.
This person. There's no going back. All right, this is what this is what they got to work with.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, I can see, like, let's get off base a little bit. Argument. But the argument that the people put out for childhood transitioning is saying, like, well, they'll have an easier time passing later in life when they do transition. But you know what? I mean, I don't know if because there's studies that so mental health after transitioning even late in life is like markedly improved, like in the 90%, for people who do get diagnosed with gender dysphoria and transition later in life, even like not in teenhood or childhood. And the outcomes are always very positive, even if they're not like passing,
Yeah.
Like they look like Fallon Fox, like a fucking linebacker. But like the health, like mental health outcomes are still even like extremely positive, even if they don't like pass like conventionally beautiful.
Yeah. And honestly, I'd much prefer that than, risk running the gambit of messing someone up in childhood on the chance that they look better when they transition.
Yeah, I mean that's the argument, and I don't even know if whenever I see that argument, it's always like a straight dude.
The person who would get the most out of this deal.
Like the person who's like, yeah, I want my trans women to look like really pretty.
Give me my Bailey J, damn it! Why aren't they all?
I want another Natalie Mars, please.
Look, I've seen pictures of Lilith. Okay, I want them all. Damn it!
Yeah, that's who I see putting out that argument of just like, well, kids need to transition young so they look beautiful when they're older.
I mean, look, Dylan is never gonna look probably like a born female person. I don't think they look terrible. Like you're not.
No.
You're probably not gonna get a straight guy, but
Mhm.
you're attractive enough that someone out there is gonna be like, yeah, I like the way these two things go together. Like,
Yeah, you'll
you're
get like
clearly
a
masculine.
Destiny if he was never a Twitch streamer.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
You get some,
You'll get like a
or whatever.
keep it up, and you'll get a short photo taco in your Twitter DMs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I would say the wig.
Actually, on second
work
thought,
on her.
don't.
But yeah,
I like the wig though. I think it works to help form her face. Like it helps.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
could be, like the
Nice.
forehead.
And that's
Yeah.
that's a good I was gonna say strategy. that's a good styling maneuver too for like
Apples,
anybody.
What on earth is this?
I keep looking at like the weird stewardess smile that's way too wide, like tiny lips and too many teeth.
Too many teeth. I mean, obviously those pictures in the thumbnail are photoshopped.
Well, yeah, but that is how she smiles though. Like the upper lip is like folded over.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the Andy Cohen smile.
What's that like little like canyon from like under your nose that goes to your top lip? You know what I'm talking about? The little nose
yeah.
canyon. But like Dylan Mulvaney's is like totally flat. Like it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't have
Like a chimp.
Oh no!
Is that bad? Did I just make a? I don't think that's racist.
No, there's.
I mean, people call George Bush a chimp.
Yeah.
Remember George W. Bush?
Racist.
That was like a
It's
famous
just-
joke.
It's just offensive, but
Right. Yeah, it's just. Oh, yeah. Well, I take it back if it's bad.
Dan, I know. Now that you pointed that out, I know of one thing that's a sign of, which is. Are
you going to say fetal alcohol syndrome?
Yes.
Oh, Dylan doesn't have a fetal alcohol
Come on.
face.
No.
Dylan looks like a very normal, a handsome male in the face.
Yeah, she's no Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, Greta Thunberg. Yeah. That's oof.
It's like everyday Dylan, but I'm gonna let you cast your votes below. And I think my hair is safe for today. Love ya! Day 6 of being a girl, and a lot of people are asking if I'm going to change my name. I really like Dylan, and I think that it's a great girl's name and that a lot of celebrities are naming their daughters Dylan. So in a way, I was just ahead of the trend. And the only other name that I could really see suiting this personality would be like Genevieve. And that's a mouthful. And I also don't think I know how to spell it. So Dylan it is. Love ya. And on the 7th
That was
day-
kind of. Can you pause? Yeah. Did you lock me from pausing, by the way?
I don't think so.
Oh, I wasn't able to pause. I wanted to make an additional joke.
Huh.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, that was pretty
joke.
funny.
Yeah, that's funny, Danimal. You lost it in recording, but it was very funny.
Oh, thank you. I don't even remember what I was going to say then.
Something about Genevieve, Dylan.
They said they didn't even know how to spell it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a funny joke.
I was gonna say, don't say trend. Or choice of words.
I think it's the way they phrased a name that suits this personality.
Oh yeah,
That was kind of an interesting
that's
phrasing.
kind of telling. It's kind of telling.
Is it a person? Are you a person or a personality? Are you?
Yeah, is this a fixed identity, or is it more like a collection of moods?
What is a personality, Cobb?
That's a good
A
question.
miserable pile of secrets.
Yeah, that for one thing.
Yes.
But yeah,
I can't believe you
don't-
just asked a woman what a personality
seems-
is. So rude.
Yeah, women don't have.
Did I make a mistake?
First of all, women don't have personalities, so it's really big of you to try to ask me about what they are. It feels like for this person, a personality is sort of more like a persona.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know how this person acted before.
I'll bet you that's how a lot of people conceptualize personality as a persona.
Yeah.
So this
And I don't think that's
this
healthy.
other person, this other person that occupies your space, and you can just embody it and become a new person. It's a really
Like
weird.
Almost like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde
Yeah.
situation where you have a public personality and then maybe a private personality.
Now, I think the fact that they kept their name is one of the reasons people were very skeptical.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I could see that. Yeah,
Like,
well,
oh,
I mean,
you
but
want to change your name? But I don't know. I don't think it really matters. Some people just like their names. In fact, it's interesting. I was talking to my cousin the other day, and she remarked that very few people really want to change their names in the world. most people are very comfortable with the name they have, even if it's not something they're super a fan of. It's almost like we adapt. In fact, we were remarking about how sometimes people become like their name.
Oh, like all marks are the same.
Yeah, you can even look at a person in the face and guess with a little more than random chance what their name is. It's
like a Kyle.
Yeah, you can literally identify Kyles by their face. You know?
I can always tell an Emily.
So there's some almost natural predisposition that we have.
It is interesting.
That we are born with. So maybe it's just, to me, I think it's a sign that we just adapt really easily.
Yeah.
Back to the personality thing. I always conceptualized a personality as like who you are, like naturally, like with no.
Yeah.
Because we all put on a face when we're in social situations, you know, like you want to put a good foot forward. You want to not be, you know, that person at the party that nobody wants to like be by, you know. So, but after you've gotten comfortable and shown that, like, you know, I'm a normal human being you can speak to, then it's like who you slide into like naturally and just kind of as you are in your comfortable state. Like that's what I always conceptualize, like what your personality is, like what's your true personality.
Yeah, I would say personality is more like it's a state of being an individual who's fundamentally distinct from other people, and who responds to things like various stimuli, environments, and other people differently.
Yeah, and you know, I think we could interpret Dylan's statement as that. You could say, what name would fit this personality? And maybe they conceptualize it as, I'm finally the person who I really am. Like I've thrown off the shackles. But I think the part that rubs me the wrong way is that obviously this is meant for other people to see. Right?
Yeah.
This seems like their entire identity is built around perception by others. Other people seeing them, other people affirming them, other people telling them that they're such and such. It doesn't feel natural in that way.
To be fair, this is a TikTok personality that we're talking about too.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
So the medium does not help it. But I think even just the glimpses of the kinds of relationships they have strikes me as that.
I would love to see like a psychological profile of the people that create content from their life.
Yeah.
You know? Like, because there's a bunch of those people out there. Like, what was her face that people thought were hot? Jenna Marbles.
Oh yeah.
Like, isn't that what she did? Didn't she like film her life?
Yeah,
I know.
She But then she did her racism.
Right. What did she do? She dressed like Nicki Minaj like 16 years ago.
Yeah, she did something very lame, and no one should have cared. But
yeah, I think she canceled herself. I think she just came out
she just
and was like, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Maybe she was sick of it.
She got ahead of the bullets.
I wonder about people like Dylan here and like other people who make these public videos based on their supposedly private life. I feel like when you start doing that, your life really isn't. It's not really your private life that you're drawing on anymore, because it becomes something very public. It becomes a profile. You have to curate it and trim it and tweak it until it's just right and it's processed enough so that other people can enjoy it and keep watching and keep coming back for more. And at that point, really, is it your own life that you're drawing from, or is it just a collection of habits that you've basically decided to market?
Or things that you're imitating, right? You're not acting in your own volition. You're looking at other content and being like, oh, that's something that's trendy. That's what's hot right now. I'm going to do that. It seems
I wonder if they do, because they do have a private life, obviously. I mean, they don't film every second of their lives. So they do have a private life, but I wonder if like you can like maintain that energy that you're putting on camera and like really like selling it and maintaining that in your private life. Like I wonder if some of these people just like drain themselves.
I feel like once the camera's
I'm sure
off,
you can with the help of crack.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like once the camera's off, someone like this, it's like flipping off a switch. They go immediately into like a not a sad or melancholy or depressed, but they're definitely more down than they were on camera.
Yeah.
And there are people like that. A lot of actors seem to be like that. People who work in show business, where they can walk on stage or in front of a camera and be like really energetic and committed. but when they're off camera, they have either they have problems they have to deal with, or they're just apathetic or slow. Robin Williams is kind of an example that I remember as far as actors go, because he was
Right.
really, really
Yeah.
fun on stage to watch or on screen to watch, but he had a lot of problems and was very depressed a lot of the time.
Yeah.
All right, we're not even
Well, shall we?
a week into girlhood here.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Keep it good. Keep it going.
Not even 5 minutes into the video.
And on the 7th day, she rested. Day 7 of being a girl, and oh my gosh, 1 whole week of being publicly a woman. I have learned so much, mostly good stuff. I don't think I've ever been this vulnerable in my entire life, but I've now realized that vulnerability is power, and it leads to connection, and it leads to good things. And, you know, these videos are mostly for me to look back on one day and go, oh my gosh, Dylan, look at all the things you learned, and I'm gonna look so different, and it's gonna be amazing. But it's also, I think, really cool for women to think about all the things that they didn't even know they learned, or that they didn't have to, it just came naturally, or and for trans people, you know, maybe you're seeing we're having some of the same struggles, and for men, maybe you don't even think about any of this stuff, but fun to have you here anyway. So I love you. Day 8 of being a girl.
That whole thing, that whole video, especially at the beginning, sounded like the most new agey claptrap I've heard in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, she is wearing like a bandana dress, sitting in like a sunshade.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's like vulnerability is power. It's like that comes off as very
Wishy-washy.
shallow, wishy-washy, new age, almost self-help or hippie cult garbage.
I've learned
Right.
so much. What do you think Dylan has learned in a week?
Well, hopefully she learns she doesn't really fit in those outfits.
She's learned all the mean comments.
Yeah, I'm sure there were a bunch of mean comments. Although I don't know, is TikTok heavily moderated?
I don't know. I don't even know if
No.
there are comments on TikTok.
I mean, I've seen some people being super fucking mean to Dylan Mulvaney on
Oh, yeah.
like, you know, like places like Twitter, like people like just like, oh my
Oh,
fucking
yes.
God, you're a piece of shit. You know, like that kind of mean.
Mhm.
Oh, surely.
Oh yeah. All videos of Dylan Mulvaney on YouTube have very unfavorable reception.
Oh, I'm sure. Especially after the Alta thing. I'm sure the Alta thing drew a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Dylan
The what
Mulvaney's
thing?
way.
We'll get there.
Oh, you don't know about that? Oh, are we gonna get there?
We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. But what was I gonna say about the sun tent bandana dress video?
And on the 7th day, she rested.
Right. Oh, it was like, you know what? I didn't consider that. Like I consider that with like other, because it's kind of, I think you've watched some like trans vloggers that are like far more subdued than this. Like they're like more like, look, this is what I went through today. Like I had to go to the clinic and get my, you know, estrogen shots, and you know, this was the effect that I had from it today. Like I've seen people who do that. They're like more informative. But yeah, I guess like there is like content that like I could see trans people like coming together with to like view and be like, oh, I'm not going through this alone. Like here's another person. And like, I wonder if that's the intention of these videos.
Could be, but it doesn't strike me as very effective as that.
I also am kind of curious because of the way that she addressed the crowd. Like, I couldn't help but notice that it sounded, maybe I was just mishearing or reading too deeply into it. But when she was talking about like trans women and separation, the way that she separated them from the regular women, it seemed like she was more favoring towards the regular cis female audience, and that's what she more identified with, that rather than actually trans people.
Okay. Yeah, I could see it. I mean, she has her friends in there, and she's like saying, yeah, sisters, hey girls, you know, hanging out with the girls. Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's better or worse.
All right, let's see. First day of the second week. Put up the like Majora's Mask, like doom doom.
Day 8 of being a girl, and I've gotten some messages that are saying that I need to be calling myself a woman and not a girl. And I didn't even know that some women were offended by being called girls, so that's really good to know. But for me, the word girl feels great because I never got to be one growing up. And it feels very able to make mistakes and growing and changing. and evolving, whereas the word woman feels very strong and confident and powerful, and that still intimidates me a little bit. So I'm gonna keep calling myself a girl. Hope that's okay. Love ya.
Okay, so that's a fairly famous one of the compilation.
The girl video?
The girl one.
Oh, I can see why.
Because it's a little, just a little.
Well, it's really just like there is such a difference between like women, like I'm just gonna say it, biological women and trans women. Like and that video really shows like the big difference.
Yeah.
Really, because there's a whole different like
mentality,
life, well, just growing up experience. Like growing up, developing into a woman is a totally different than somebody who went through puberty as a male, then later takes estrogen and be like, well, I had my adolescence robbed from me. You know, that's like a totally different experience than I would think that every biological woman goes through.
It's a different trajectory of desire, because I think for girls growing up into women, everything is about wanting to reach that state, right? To become mature and escape all the vulnerability and the sort of
connotations.
This bubble of safety. I think a lot of girls want to get out of that and they want to become women, right? And I think for a lot of men who transition into women later in life, they're kind of going the opposite direction. They've been in that space of being pushed out into the world and kind of either bullied or harmed or humiliated, and becoming a girl or becoming a woman is like a safe space for them. They can just sort of curl up, put on a dress, be vulnerable, be emotional, and be safe. It's a very different psychological profile.
Yeah. Which is why I'm just gonna say, like, I don't know how to feel about it, but like when there's like trans women who are like spokespeople for like women organizations, you know, like I think it, like, thinking rational adults can understand the needs of, you know, the sexes, but there's always that kind of like, I don't know, that difference, and I'm not sure that.
Yeah. And there's another aspect here that bears mentioning, which might have also creeped people out about that particular clip, which is, as I've seen pop up again on Twitter, the little space.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gabbles? Gabbles, do you remember Little Space?
No. Little Space.
Littles.
Do you know what a little is?
Do I want to know?
Oh, we met a little. We met a little already. Yeah. Sophie LaBelle.
Sophie LaBelle, the comic artist.
Ew.
And Sophie LaBelle has been on Twitter posting comics defending herself for being little because everyone thinks it's pedophilia. And I agree it's not necessarily pedophilia, but it's very sus because you basically pretend to be a child. Yeah. And yeah, it's usually fetishistic. I'm sure for some select number of people it's just like a comfort thing, but yeah, very
coping
sus,
mechanism, very
creepy, very off-putting, and people don't like it.
I just want to say,
and Sophie LaBelle said, "Oh, it's very common in trans spaces," and we're like, "You don't want to say that. Don't say that."
No, yeah, it's not. That's not something that you want to.
Don't put
want
that
to
on
make a
people.
generalization about.
Like, well, because we were robbed of our childhood, so we want to live out our childhood. My own. No.
Who else were we watching where they just said, "Oh, James Somerton"? Remember way back then we watched that Disney video. That's what he was talking. Or wait, no, maybe I talked about it to kind of explain why a lot of gay men are Disnoids.
Yeah, Disney. Just you want to watch Disney? Go on Disney cruises.
I'll just say, as somebody, okay, I won't out them as a Disnoid, but it's not like the same thing as like a little.
No, there's a big difference.
I don't want anybody to construe that.
You don't dress up as a baby and go wow wow.
No.
There's a difference between getting in touch with your inner child and touching your inner child.
Well, they might be a diaper fur. I don't know. I think they're also a furry.
I was going to say, wasn't there a stream a long time ago with Armored Skeptic and Shu when they were still dating, and they were like, yes, we're in a daddy little girl relationship.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know about that.
I don't think that stream still exists, but I'm pretty sure that happened. I don't think I dreamt that.
Yeah.
If it did exist.
Could somebody fill me in on what I just heard?
We're talking about
no.
littles. You remember
They're talking about
littles?
shoe on head. Like, if you know what, if that stream's private and she didn't want it out there, and Harvard Skeptic doesn't want it out there, then I won't talk about it.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
But yeah,
completely
that
understandable.
happened. You know, it was a thing. You know, people got their things.
He had a nice laugh.
Yeah, but yeah, little is like, especially when it's the child like clothing stuff.
Oh God, well,
That's
that makes it all bad.
that's really sus. That's almost as sus as lolly.
Hey,
Okay.
go on. They
got a few female songs, so let's see which ones we like.
Somewhere down this road, I know someone's waiting. Years of dreams just can't be wrong. Arms will open wide. I'll be safe and wanted. Finally home where I belong. When I have a brand new hairdo with my eyelashes all in curl.
Well,
my soul left my body. It just came back. What happened?
I agree. Nice abs.
I am noticing now that you mentioned the choker. I'm noticing a lot more turtlenecks.
Oh yeah, there's turtlenecks.
I think the first video was in a turtleneck. I think the
Just
first
like,
video was in a
They're making all
turtleneck.
this effort to cover up their Adam's apple, but nothing else. Like everything
Not
else.
the arms.
That's
Not the
why it's
arms or the abs or the.
well, the covering of the
nipples.
Adam's apple kind of leans more sincere for me. Like that. That's a consistent thing. You
It
know,
is-
just saying.
It must be the one thing that they don't like because they pretty much showed everything else. They went out in a whole bikini.
I mean, I have heard that from trans people that have discussed like what having gender dysphoria feels like, and there are some that are like, yeah, just like one like specific aspect about me is just like something I can't even like look at, you know. So maybe it's that, you know.
So overall,
I mean,
they-
that's
obviously a good singer.
yeah.
When they
I'm not gonna
switched-
dump on that.
When they switched voices, though, that didn't quite work for me.
No, better than fucking philosophy too. Remember the
Oh, God.
the As She Goes video?
Oh yeah.
I like how Gabbles is just throwing jokes into the side chat instead of saying them on
Yeah.
the stream.
Same on streaming. Freaking.
You coward. What are you, a homo?
Did you not want it recorded that Gabbles, the news skirt, said nice abs though at 8:05 p.m.?
What? They are nice.
Yeah.
That. Come on.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
we
I
would
can't even
all
see it.
lick those abs. Let's be honest.
Mhm.
All right,
It
Go
is
ahead
a
and play it.
washboard.
let's get through a few more days.
I float as a
Oh god.
Oh, no.
hairdo.
We committed too soon.
Oh,
Really complimented too soon.
let's get through this. Come on. This is the last song. If you do another song, this is. Oh,
Planet of Girlhood,
we
and
go.
I figured it was about
Oh, no.
time that we talk about hormones.
What?
Something we've all got.
Oh,
Let's
Okay.
become Amish.
I like this airplane in tall, big collar. You know.
All their abs are still showing on the bottom. What is this shirt? I don't
It's like-
understand this shirt now.
Half of a
I thought it
trad
looked-
wife.
Yeah, it looked like half of a trad wife dress,
Yeah, it's
but it's cut
It's
off.
like Little House on the Prairie kind of, you know, big collar.
It's a modern twist, don't you know? Yeah.
crop top Amish look. Yeah, basically.
It's like a pilgrim collar.
And a
kinda.
really weird lipstick color. I don't like that lipstick.
No, and I don't like the match with the wallpaper, like the busy pattern on the busy pattern.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's very 70s.
Is that yellow
Yeah.
thing a chair?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Probably got it from the flea market too.
Those chairs suck too, because if your t-shirt goes up in the back, you like stick to the back of it.
yeah.
I hate those kinds of chairs. I always hated those chairs when I was a kid.
I just have a few extra on board. First of all, this is not medical advice. Please, I'm not your
Oh,
doctor.
no.
You don't want me as your doctor. I'm new to this. I've only been on it for about a month. And so just bear with me.
30
okay?
days, glow
And
up.
secondly,
Yeah.
not all trans people are going to be on hormones. If a person is
Can you
trans,
pause
they're
it for a
trans.
second?
Hormones are not.
What's this lipstick for men ad that you put in the chat? Yeah, well, it looks just like that lipstick. That is so bad. You are so bad for putting that there.
What
Oh
is it?
my god.
Look
That's from
at the side
Friends.
chat.
It's Joey. He gets a deal to be in the
Ichiban.
Japanese makeup
Lipstick for men.
advert.
I-
Ichiban lipstick for men.
It looks
the-
it looks the same. That's so bad. You're so bad for making a connection.
No, a good follow-up to that would be the SpongeBob bits. It's like, actually, it's coral number 2.
All right, let's roll with this
Sorry.
one.
Oh,
Let's
it's
keep
so
going.
bad.
So just please keep that in mind when thinking about the trans experience. This is just mine. Okay, I think we got everything out of the way. HRT, hormone replacement therapy. That is essentially the blanket term for anyone on, hormones. And I recently found out that a lot of menopausal women are on hormones. Hello, ladies.
Wow, you didn't know how women's hormone cycles worked.
I thought those were just for trans people. What do you mean?
What? They have
Alright.
legit medical uses? What?
There's testosterone replacement therapy. There's postmenopausal women will typically do estrogen replacement therapy to prevent osteoporosis.
Some men need it.
Osteoporosis, you say? That's very interesting.
Is that why they get it when they age?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, so that
So that's why hormone blockers in females can cause early onset osteoporosis, because basically you're blocking all the estrogen from your
Yeah.
body.
That's right. You know what? That was. I think I might have talked about this last episode. But the Lupron, when it was first used for off-label use, because it was prostate cancer treatment medication, but it was used for off-label use for treating precocious puberty in young girls back in the early 90s, and a lot of those girls ended up having severe bone problems.
Yeah, basically just the bones of a 80-year-old woman
Yeah.
at age 20 or 30.
Playing
How
God
crazy
is just a
that
sometimes
we could be on
thing.
some of the same medications and it's just like doing different things for our body. It's so cool to me. I love it. And
It is doing different things, because in one person it belongs there and the other it doesn't. Different bodies, different body types.
interesting thing that I learned when I first looked into getting hormones was that I assumed that I would go to a psychiatrist for them, but actually you go to a primary care doctor. I go to a center here for trans people in California, which is so amazing. We need better trans health care.
Agreed.
Thank you. A lot of blood tests and levels to be checked and hard conversations to have. And I think it's really important to have like a doctor or a space that you can do that in comfortably. Hormones for trans people kind of fall under 2 categories of like trans people wanting to be more masculine, and they'll probably be taking like testosterone, referred to as T, which I'm not going to speak on, but I wish I could give my testosterone to them because I don't want
go ahead,
mine.
pause it for a second.
I wish that was a thing. And
I just want to say one thing I appreciate to kind of give some ups to Dylan Mulvaney is talking about hormone treatment as something that requires like regular checking. Like you should go to a clinic for this, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, considering the people that we've seen in the past, or somebody like Keffel's running around.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's a
one
good
thing
message.
that is one thing Dylan Mulvaney has over somebody like Keffel's, just more appropriate a more appropriate conversation about it that isn't just here, buy these unregulated, unrestricted drugs on the black market on the internet.
Yeah.
Here's a website.
Who needs
Well,
a doctor?
I mean, we'll see what she says about estrogen here. Like, hopefully she doesn't I know she said like bimbo and stuff earlier. I hope she doesn't call it like girl juice or something.
Jeez.
It's gender
Like-
fluid, okay?
I hope she treats it like with the reverence and the seriousness that it should be treated. But here, go ahead.
We know
Keep
you
going.
don't like girl juice.
It's don't call it that. I've seen people call it that on Twitter. Like, don't call it that. That's
Already,
And then you got
James.
the trans people that want to be more feminine. Me. I can speak on this. And we have some options, but my first 2 prescriptions are estrogen and a testosterone blocker, which is called spiralactin. Some of y'all ladies might say, oh my gosh, spiralactin, I'm on that for PCOS or for my acne. That's what's crazy. We're all on the same things. And they work different. It's
No.
amazing. Magic, science.
Science, bitch.
It's
Oh,
the face for the just. Oh god, it says it on the screen. That's so bad.
I didn't mean to do that.
she certainly looks like you're crazy out. That's trying to fucking tell you about her latest thing.
Look
Yeah, she
at
does
the
look like
pills
you're-
I'm taking.
Have you seen my pillbox? Did I leave it at the bingo hall?
Which is that like bridge that Dylan's trying to build between her and like how to connect with like a biological woman, because that's who she's
Oh my
addressing.
god, we're all the same, basically.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Like, and it's not quite
wow.
No.
I don't know.
Just
I
'cause
think
the same, just because the same chemicals are being taken for different to treat different conditions doesn't mean that the medications are the same or that they're being taken the same way.
it's fine to just own a trans experience and just be like, this is my trans experience. Like, not trying to like be like, look, I'm just like you, the sex that I'm transitioning to.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of started out like that, though, which is
Yeah, it did. Yeah, like this is my experience being well.
You know,
yeah, I
other
don't know. She
people
did,
have
like,
different things, and
yeah, I don't know.
And some trans people aren't on hormones. I guess.
yeah, those are the
Love it.
undesirables.
Currently only taking the estrogen. I've been on it for about a month. And the reason I'm not taking the testosterone blocker yet is I just want to check in with a family planning doctor before I start taking that, just so I have all my options open. I have all the information I need. I want to be on both of them so soon, just because I want to get this all looking the way that I want it to. And that's what's really scary right now about being a trans person relatively new to hormones, is that like I'm not looking the way that I'm going to look. And I have, you know, still a lot of masculine features, which can be a little scary, you know, putting myself out there in the world and in social media. But I'm kind of just trusting that we're all going to, you know, just say, oh, look, Dylan looks a little different today. That's great. These hormones are going to take a long time to work. They can take up to 2 years to see real full effects of what it's doing to your body. Some of the things I'm hoping for from estrogen would be smoother skin, weight distribution, so turning some of my muscle into fat, and then it actually would sort of like round out my hips, my face. It will develop breast tissue. And then the testosterone blocker essentially helps the estrogen work better. So I don't have to be on that, but right now the estrogen in my body and the testosterone are sort of going like this. And so that testosterone blocker might help that estrogen work a little bit better. And there are cons, and those should be talked about.
It's like a really long run-on sentence.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just will not shut up. So she passes.
Ah, yes. Woman.
Yeah.
She did actually mention the fertility stuff, which is
Mention
probably
fertility,
a
which is
really good thing to mention.
Mhm.
When did she mention fertility? I didn't hear it.
They said they're going to a family planning doctor.
Oh,
to talk
okay.
about all their
That's good.
options, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Seems very cautious about the medical stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like on estrogen, but waiting to take the blockers until they know more about
Spit-
the effects.
Yeah,
they seem
well-
aware that it'll take up to 2 years to see full effects. Now, I don't know the chances of getting all those effects that they want
Right.
this
Yeah.
age. I don't know but
And I will say
I guess
with
we can't know.
Spiro, the testosterone blocker, that's the one that can cause liver toxicity. So it's good that she was talking about getting her levels checked and things like that, because that's there are trans people that do Spiro and they like specifically cut that one out because of the effects of that one and the dangers that it poses sometimes.
yeah, and it's interesting too, like between males and females, they have to go about the hormone replacement strategy a little differently.
Mhm.
I don't know. Do females get estrogen blockers? Is that a thing?
I don't. You know what? I don't
think
hear
they-
that a
I don't
lot.
think there is. I think you just take
It's just
a buttload of
testosterone.
testosterone and the testosterone overloads, because the female body naturally, when you have testosterone, it converts it to estrogen.
I just want
It's
to
all-
say I
it's all-
appreciate that pun.
Yeah, because but if
I
you
see-
inject like a ton of testosterone, it basically overloads your ability to convert it.
I see that there's taxofen, which it blocks estrogen and it's used for hormone therapy and breast cancer, but I'm not seeing it in reference like off-label use for like hormone therapy like I do with testosterone blocking
maybe it's
drugs.
just too dangerous. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it is too dangerous to just block estrogen.
I don't know.
I don't know, because it seems to be like a radical treatment for breast cancer. My mother had stage 0 breast cancer, but she didn't have to do much of this because they caught it so early. You know, I mean, stage 0 is like the best time to catch it.
That's good.
Interesting. Well, here we go. They're going to talk about downsides. Let's see what they can eliminate about that.
You know, fatigue, dizziness, some mood swings, which, oh my gosh, my first 2 weeks, I didn't even feel like myself. But the doctor told me about 3 days of each month, I might feel a little cuckoo. All the ladies are like, oh my gosh, welcome. But I'm like, oh my God, my cycle. I told somebody that
Okay, no,
Oh,
that's not
okay.
what that is. That's not what that is.
Whoa.
How did it even work? How do you have a cycle? You're injecting the same amount of estrogen or taking the same amount every day.
Well, Kav, let me just say that you've been asking us if we think that they're genuine or sincere, but I think we need a scale for you of camaraderie. How much camaraderie do you feel with? Dylan, do you feel like this is a woman that's speaking my language?
This is definitely a woman who knows the woman experience. After about a week, they figured it out. Done.
All right.
There's no
so high on the camaraderie scale.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I was on that 80%.
One of my people right here.
Are you glad to call her a sister or proud to call her?
Oh yeah, of course.
Look at that big smile. She loves it.
Big smile, too many teeth. Yeah, I don't. Why would the doctor tell them this? How does that work? What sense does that make? Is it just like a thing of comfort to say, hey, you're going to have your own cycle, sister? Is this like a psychological thing?
Well, the doctor only said like you'll feel kooky like 3 days maybe. So I'm thinking like you might be experiencing breakdowns more often or something like that. And she's like, oh, it's my cycle. Oh.
Well, I remember during the Sophia Narwitz.
Just like woman, I have cycle. I have emotions now.
Well, aren't there like, so I don't know if it's bullshit or not, if it's just like one person that gets passed around and just like, this is what trans women are like, you know, like those exist all over the place. But there was that one like post and like Reddit where like a trans woman was talking about like cramps. And she's like, I'm feeling cramps now.
Like, no, you just gotta
because I'm becoming a woman.
Gas, that's what you
You got gas. You got diarrhea.
Well,
Sure, some of the drugs they take can cause like abdominal distress. And it's not. See, a period or a cycle is caused by a fluctuation in hormones, a fluctuation you would not experience if you are taking them in pill form.
Right, because you're receiving a consistent, like you're getting your blood levels checked to make sure that they're consistently at these levels.
The male body is not going to give you a cycle just because it's being touched by estrogen. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Sadly.
The female endocrine system is very complex. It goes in ebbs and flows and ups and downs, like throughout every day and through the month. It's just crazy.
Do people in like very like, because like after she talked about changes in 2 years, but like you're gonna be taking estrogen for the rest of your life. Do they consider that later, like after the changes have taken place, because you want to like get the body used to the estrogen? Then do they like dial back a dose, then up a dose to like match natural elevations and hormone level?
I've never heard of any of them doing that. I don't think.
Because I would think that it decreases as you age.
Yeah, I would think it's too complicated to emulate.
Yeah. I wonder if that's why there's a lot of late in life. Because there's like early onset dementia, I know, is something that like trans people should be like getting checked for things like that, like earlier than you typically would. You know, I wonder if that's why, because they can't emulate the natural flow of the hormone cycles. And because males do go through slight hormone cycles, not as fluctuating as a woman when she's like, you know, shedding her uterine lining. And that just kind of pulls to where I was talking about previously of just like, it's just such a different like experience, and it's just okay to just own that as like an experience instead of like seeking camaraderie with the biological sex that you're transitioning to or maintaining, you know, because it's such a different path in life.
I should find the video. I know there's a video of Dylan handling tampons, but I don't.
Dylan.
I don't know that it's included in this. Yeah, it's probably not.
Oh, wait, I think I've seen that. People were passing that around as like, oh, Tampax paid this person to do an advertisement for him, but I don't think that's what it is.
I think they're just like fondling the tampon.
Yeah, I think it's just Dylan just making a video. Like, I don't think that it's like Tampax was involved.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Now, another company did sponsor, but we'll get there.
Right. Yeah, we'll get there.
We're almost done with this video. So.
All right. Yeah, let's barrel through
I was going on hormones, and they said to me, you're going to get really sick. I was like, what? And this is a person that doesn't know anything about hormones. And I think that sometimes there's like stigmas of things that we've seen on like TV about trans people, or like, you know, I don't know where that idea comes from, but really these aren't hurting my body. They are helping me in my euphoria. Ultimately, I'm just really excited to see how my body changes. And
I mean, those things are not necessarily inclusive.
Right.
You could be getting euphoria and also damaging your body.
Yeah.
Crack cocaine.
Can I just say, like, Dylan's, like, I mean, I know that we're joking about like you know, sincerity versus grifting, but like just Dylan's like core personality that's come through in these videos so far, like seems like very innocent. Like they seem like an innocent kind of soul.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, it's like I'd more attribute it to naivete than any outward malice.
Maybe like I don't see like an ulterior thing, like where like you watch like Demon Mama, for example, and there's like an like ideology behind like trans, like when Demon Mama discusses trans things and like trans experience and stuff, there's like a political angle and like an ideological thing. But like here I don't sense that with Dylan at all.
Political anything. It's just kind of maybe some naivete, some misunderstanding.
Possibly. I mean, I know we joked about the bimbofication and the sissy hypno, but like there might be like a sexual thing.
It could be sexual. It does seem very much like a desperate grasp at connection. Like, I'm just like you. I'm just like you. It's me and you. Can you tell me how I'm doing? I love you. Do you love me? It's sort of this back and forth. Yeah.
It's well, that was one thing that I was going to mention when we were talking about like the mentality of these kind of people, not just like not trans people, but you know, TikTok personalities, people who like stream their life and stuff. And word for that is just the parasocial relationship, kind of feeding into that. And it's not, and as we mentioned, it's not healthy. It's not a very good way of handling or conducting your business.
Oh, that reminds me. I got to give Destiny $25 real quick. Hang on.
Is he sending you pictures of his feet in exchange? I got my feet pics.
Oh, you got your Destiny feet pics? Oh.
Yeah.
Is it like Dr. Mr. Girl?
They're little hobbit feet.
Dr. Mr. Girl.
And everyone is going to be different. Every body is different, so it reacts differently. And instead of expectations, I feel like it's just going to be happy surprises when I do see little shifts here and there. You know, you're going to see me change over the next year or two, and it's going to be awesome. Let me know if you have any questions. This makeup is giving like Xenon Girl of the Galaxy vibes. Bye! Day 12 of being a girl, and I just picked up some tampons.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, no, it is here.
Oh, no.
Let's go.
They got the butt tampons. There we go.
She's like slowly turning into a Space Channel 5 character.
And
if you get that reference.
Dylan.
You're old.
I don't. Oh, me? No, it's a Dreamcast game. Dreamcast isn't that. How old is Dreamcast? When did Dreamcast?
This is kind of old.
Oh wait.
I'm sorry.
Oh wait, I know when Dreamcast came out because it was part of the marketing. It came out on 9/9/99, September 9th, 1999.
Bad news for you, bro.
That's a long time ago.
20 years ago. Oh, actually, I know that game. I remember the Dreamcast.
I never
I'm also
played.
old.
I'm young. I've
It's
never
that
played
dancing game.
Dreamcast.
Right. Is this what she's shooting for?
Yeah, I
For
think so.
transitioning.
I can't see any of this. Oh wait, there it is. I see now.
Okay, so we have tampons. Let's talk about where they're gonna go.
Okay.
Where are you going to put those? They're not for me. Okay. But this last weekend, I was in the restroom and the girl in the stall next to me was like, "Hey, do you have a tampon?" And I froze. I was like, "Sorry, no." But in that moment, I decided, you know what? I'm always going to have one on hand for anyone who needs it. You come over to my house and we're having a glass of wine, I got a tampon for you. If we're in the club together and then we go to the bathroom, I got a tampon for you. Women supporting women. Love you.
Okay, you got a pause. You got a pause. Wait, oh my God.
Tampons for friends.
Kav, what if you came to me and my husband's house and we had tampons for you? How would you feel?
A little weirded out.
Yeah.
I mean,
just
I guess
a little.
Asking in the bathroom is kind of normal. I've never been asked for a tampon or a pad. At school, sometimes students will come to me and ask if I have any.
Oh.
Because you know, you go to school
Well,
and
that's
then you
normal
realize
in
like,
a-
oh,
yeah.
whoops, I left the house without one, and
They
I
haven't
keep-
quite.
And I keep
Go
a
ahead.
few in my drawer just in case the student needs it. But
Yeah, that's typical for school environment because they're not like they
They're
haven't
not
quite figured out how to be
fully listening to
responsible adults and like maybe pack that stuff with them. And
Now,
Yeah.
what day of girlhood is Dylan now in the girls' restroom? I'm
like day like 13.
like 13, and we're already in there. Ooh,
Yeah, we were
Oh
talking
my.
about just starting hormone treatment.
starting hormones, and boom, we're in
Yeah,
the
that might
stalls
be.
talking to girls in the other stall.
You get your bathroom pass at the doctor. See?
Yeah,
So-
I guess.
That's gotta be. I know we tackled that issue last episode a little bit, but the bathroom issue, yeah, at this stage, I can
well, at
see.
this stage, when you're very masculine looking, you're gonna make some people nervous.
Yeah, that's just how the dice roll.
And you're living in like LA, so maybe no
Yeah,
one cares.
that does make me raise the question though of who the hell was this woman asking her for tampons?
Yeah.
What's behind it? You know,
Swear
they couldn't
if,
see them. They just saw
Yeah.
by their feet. And
Yeah, they're size 14s.
No, I was wondering if maybe like that was just like a jab.
Right.
like, hey, you got a tampon? Oh. But yeah, it's not. Yeah. Also, it's not abnormal to be like, yeah, sorry, I don't have a tampon on hand for this moment.
Yeah, she's like, I'll ask this WNBA star in the stall next to me.
Oh God, you've laid me up for the worst joke ever. You're asking Joanna, man.
That's so bad. No,
I'm
can't use
sorry.
that reference. It's actually a man pretending to be a woman. That's so bad. You can't use that reference.
And it's also WNBA. Okay, it's a twofer.
Is that the only WNBA movie?
As far as I know.
That's so sad. There's no there's no like League of Their Own version of WNBA.
I don't know. Are there any
no
like
one watches the WNBA? Why would anyone
Yeah.
want a movie of it?
Their fundamentals are solid. All right.
Fundamentals.
fundamentals? No.
We had a big WNBA star that I went to high school with.
Oh.
Yeah.
Morning! I am finally going to get laser hair removal on my face and my body, and I could cry. I'm so excited. Hi everyone! Okay, I'm with Nina here at Sev, and we're gonna do my chest, my abs, and my face today, and I'm a little nervous. No.
Abs. I didn't see any hair in those abs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look
No,
pretty
those,
gross to me.
They probably shaved already.
yeah, get a little. I don't know. You still get a little peach fuzz even if you're naturally hairless, right, Gambles?
Shut up.
Show us your
Stop peach
hairy
fuzz.
abs.
No.
Come on, be furry. I know you.
You've shown
want.
your feet. You can show other parts. I like that day 3. I don't need to worry about my hair. Women have hair.
Yeah.
Well, kind of gave up on that, I guess.
Well, I think
Yeah.
even in day 3, like didn't Dylan say, like, I'm going to get this
I'm gonna
removed.
get it removed, but yeah.
Yeah.
This
So,
is you probably don't want to film this. Like, I wouldn't want to film myself going through a medical procedure and put it on the internet.
Did you?
like a boil getting lanced or something.
Did you have to get laser hair removal too?
No, I'd have to get laser hair removal. I've had
It's
to
all
get
that-
that,
That
you
was
know?
his body hair. Leave him
Yeah.
alone.
I've had to get like I haven't gotten one since I was a teenager, but like, you know, you get plantar warts on the bottom of your feet. You got to get those nitro,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Good time.
cold freezed off.
If you ever do
I-
have to lance anything, let me know.
Oh,
Oh, why?
I
Are you
will.
into it? Do you watch Dr. Pimple Popper?
I definitely do.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, you
I
freaks!
watch cow abscesses get lanced.
Yeah.
Some stuff is
Okay.
like a waterfall. It's insane.
Do you watch the hoof
Yes.
shaving videos?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, the Scottish guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. all right.
Literally just watched a couple of episodes before coming on.
It's soothing, you know? It's like
It is.
It is soothing. Yeah, I do like watching cows get their hooves shaved down. I don't know why.
Y'all, I hardly felt it. The process was oddly satisfying, and this above the lip was probably the most sensitive area, but it just sort of feels like rubber bands, and I want to get this beard gone, baby.
Dylan's gonna be so
Everyone, I
mad.
look a little crazy right now, but it was no big deal at all. Nina was amazing. Go back every 4 weeks. Just finished my session, and honestly, I don't look as bad as I thought I was going to. Really excited about this journey, and thank you, Seth.
Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you
What the
feel.
fuck is this music?
it's
What is this
you know what it
generic
is?
Yeah.
It's called TikTok.
generic royalty free.
Oh, is that like Is that like TikTok, like
Yes.
music?
This is the end of the video. Okay.
That's gonna.
Now the other two videos, we're not going to watch the whole thing because we've been going for about an hour and a half. But so after
Only an hour and a half.
Yeah, only an hour and a half. So we'll watch a good chunk of these other ones. But two things occurred after Dylan got famous for being on TikTok and making these videos. So not only did they continue this series for quite a while, and it's up in the hundreds now of days of girlhood, but Dylan got chosen to lead a women's conference.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
So that happened, and people were not
Wait, for
happy.
real?
Yes.
Oh my god, I was like dumping on like that very
Let
thing.
me look it up, Dylan.
Yeah, I could see
Mulvaney
people getting miffed about that.
Women's Conference. Forbes Power Women Summit.
What, for Forbes?
Yes.
Jesus.
For Dylan Mulvaney, the TikTok
Forbes
star, spoke to
invites-
Forbes?
Biological man, trans activist. This is from TPUSA, which is hence the biological language. The Power Women's Summit in 2022 for Forbes. And it was invited to speak
Yeah.
at the conference.
I wonder, has Forbes always been? Because I remember like back in the day, like Forbes, like Wall Street Journal, like those used to be like the business
Oh, and I have a great
magazine and
I
newspaper,
have a
you know?
great picture of
Oh.
them at the.
Oh god.
I guess transness is business now. No, it's
So
marketing.
we got
I
a
guess. Oh god.
yeah, like yoga pants, and their
Hmm.
Really
midriff
starting to
showing.
notice.
Okay, you know what? She is definitely. It looks far more feminine than the.
If I can objectify her as a woman, she now has nice breasts.
And what does she discuss? Forbes on Twitter. Dylan Mulvaney speaks about collaboration and authorship.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
those are like genuine topics.
Yep.
Don't know if you want to like
Put them on
like
a
why like that would be a good topic for like holding like a this is a we have this changing market of internet's personality, like this is a whole thing and this is going to be the future for a lot of big revenue generation, like
That
let's
would
have this
be
person come and talk
fine.
about this.
I think, yeah, having them as a Power Women's Summit was a little
Yeah.
odd.
It may be
And
just a bit
then,
posturing.
that was the first kind of kerfuffle with public appearances, and then they were chosen to sponsor a makeup company. And that gets us into Ulta Beauty.
And we're on day 167 of girlhood.
Mr. Hollywood, I'm right here.
Hollywood, zoom in on that.
What?
Hi, friends. Welcome to the beauty
Whatever
of
that
an
is.
Ulta Beauty podcast, where we talk with the pioneers who are helping us redefine what beauty is and where it lives. I am David Lopez, and I've had many titles in my life. I've been called many things. Beauty content creator, celebrity hairstylist, gender fluid hottie. But today, I am your host.
Can you pause it for a
Fluid
moment?
hottie. Anyone?
There's something I want to say about.
Uh-oh. Are
something
you
I've
allowed to
noticed.
say it?
Yeah.
I don't really care if I'm allowed to say it or not, but there's one word that I could use to describe all these videos. It would be the word plastic.
Yeah.
Because when I look at all these videos of not just Dylan Mulvaney, but of people like this other guy, and of like these people, they come off as if they were made in a mold. They're inorganic.
Yeah.
They're not real people that you would meet on the street in a small town or a big city. They are almost like effigies that were melted in. They're made from plastic, cast in a mold, and then mass produced. Because they have the same way of speaking, the same general aesthetic, the same not the same skin color, but the same appearance.
Well, you know,
Is it just
guys,
California weird?
I was
Sorry,
just
Adam.
gonna say California. I think it's California's fault.
It might be, yeah. It's not really weird. It's like artificial, corporate-friendly weird.
Well, California's
Quirky.
really corporate.
I will say though,
Bubbles, you know you're allowed to speak.
I didn't want to cut off Tenny.
Well, then say it now.
I did.
Okay. Well, what are we watching? A Paul Verhoeven inside advert?
No one got that
Heyo.
reference.
No one got that. That was terrible. That was awful. Why don't you go back to not speaking?
Speak at all, actually.
Shut up.
He made a mistake. I was gonna say though, fucking Dylan certainly looks like a fucking Stepford housewife right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for real.
60s.
Like Jackie Kennedy, but like, you know,
less fur though.
TV movie Jackie Kennedy.
Yeah.
Like a character and not a real person. That's what it looks like to me.
Ooh, cut deep.
And then
I will
this
say,
weird gender fluid person, I don't know what. Why is this gender fluid guy look like the other gender fluid guy who was on Dr. Phil? What is this long blonde hair with a beard thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a very shallow way to prove that you're neither a man nor a woman. Because what makes a woman is long hair, and what makes a man is a beard. Clearly.
Yeah, I have long hair.
Yeah, it turns out long hair
long hair
does
above the
not
waist,
make
guys.
you a woman. But yeah, so to give context, this podcast got published, and a bunch of people were upset because the whole thing is about the beauty of girlhood. Like, that's what it's called.
Can I say one thing I saw people were upset with, but maybe something that we're not necessarily going to touch on?
Sure.
I've seen women complain about this before because women be complaining, but no, but no, it's about how like the beauty industry, and there's a lot of like men involved, like setting like what is the beauty, or like telling you like this is what you should be doing and things like that. And like I know that this person said they're gender fluid, but man, I mean the man is like, you know, setting the standards for women instead of like it being a lot of women doing it. Yeah, I've seen that complaint before.
Yeah, I think that's pretty applicable to the beauty industry as a whole. Not necessarily just this video, though.
Yeah, James Charles.
It's kind of a predatory industry.
I mean, that's why people like hated Victoria's Secret.
You're feeding it was like on insecurity, and you're feeding on this constant competition.
Yeah.
And probably to the detriment of people's health. So a lot of these beauty industries have kind of had to reinvent themselves. And I think this was their attempt at reinventing themselves a little bit, to be like, hey, we're open-minded and we don't think girlhood is one thing. But the message is confused because this person who claims to be a girl is using all the most stereotypical cosmetics to communicate that fact. Like they're not breaking any of the beauty boundaries.
The mold.
So it's them trying to soften their image, but it backfires.
Yeah, I think so.
I noticed a lot of companies try and do this, really.
Yeah, they do.
Today's guest has gone viral with her TikTok series, 100 Days of Girlhood, which I guess now is just Days of Girlhood. And today we're on 167. Welcome, Dylan Mulvaney.
How many months is 167?
Oh, I'm just so happy to be. We've been following each other for a long time.
Yeah.
I want to know how many months.
At least 5.
There's like 5.5 months of hormone therapy, and you're on an Alta show. We saw that chart in the Sophia Norwitz video, you know, of like when the effects of hormone therapy take place. It's usually like 6 months. It's like when you start seeing the effects is at least 6 months.
But you see women be shopping and Dylan be shopping, therefore they are
Dylan is women.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like demean like trans women by saying this, but when you're like this early in the process, I don't think that somebody who is a trans person should be like receiving Power Girl awards or like be on like these beauty shows like this. Does that sound bad?
But not Kylie.
Optically, I get it.
Caitlyn Jenner, Woman of the Year. Come on.
Well, she's disgraced now because she likes Trump.
I mean, in Leah Thomas's second year as a woman,
yeah, it seems like it's a fast track to getting that kind of attention, which seems like a bad thing.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't want to use this word, but I can't think of anything better, and I guess I'll just say it feels like kind of like disrespectful to women a little bit. I don't know. I don't know why I feel that. I can't articulate it. Maybe it's just bigotry. I don't know.
No, I'd agree. It does come off as very disrespectful because it seems to offer up what on the surface looks to be almost a caricature of female stereotypes.
Yeah, I guess it's the presentation.
It's because she comes off as very catty, flippant, and almost passive aggressive, things like that. It's like if, say, a Martian tried to figure out what a human female acted like, and his only example was
like 70s,
Real
80s.
Housewives of LA or
sitcoms.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
Yeah.
it's a very shallow, not very representative portrayal of what women are like.
It's
Not
interesting.
that any of us would know, for the
that
record.
first video, the first day of womanhood, we were kind of saying, oh, maybe it's kind of a joke. Maybe it's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm not being totally serious. I feel like the more videos I watch and the more I see this person talking in a natural state, it seems like very genuine. That's almost worse.
It does come off as serious, yeah.
This is
Yeah,
other
like,
thing, though-
like I am a giggly, bubbly girl who likes frilly
yeah,
dresses.
I'm just a
and that's what
girl.
girls
And there's
do.
other
Yeah.
there's other videos we didn't get to see, like of Dylan dressed up in a bikini and heels running around in the woods.
There's more of
Oh.
it.
Oh, remember 100 Days of Girlhood. We only saw
Yeah.
15.
I would have thought just
And
one
that
time
was
would win.
16 too
And
many
some
for
of
my
them are
taste.
just like, they're just ridiculous and it comes off as sincere.
So if I could like give a different perspective, I think another part of that could very well be, and this is just vague speculation. I don't even know if I completely believe this because it's a TikTok personality and they would definitely fucking do it either way. But a part of it could just be the fact that this fucking shit blew up as much as it did, as fast as it did. It's like you kind of have to feed into that, you know. You don't
Yeah.
want to let that go away. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
guess.
hey, this is what people want.
I mean, it sells, certainly, because you get a lot of controversy and you get a lot of attention.
And
This
you convince
is-
yourself that it's for the best, you know. People find support
They
in
did
this.
they did get millions of views, and who knows how many of those millions were actual like fawning supporters or people who were just gawking
Yeah.
because it went viral.
Well, Dylan Mulvaney was a performer before transitioning.
Yes.
What kind of
Rock-
performer?
Actor,
Like
you said,
a-
right?
Theater.
An actor?
I think theater.
Was Dylan doing like lifestyle blogs before transitioning?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Look
And I
deeper
wonder
into
if
Dylan's
the
history.
I wonder if the behavior that we're seeing in these videos, I wonder if we can agree that it's at least to some extent genuine. I wonder how much of it does in fact come from just getting the attention that this person is craving.
Right.
Doesn't seem
Because-
anyone
and
in their
then
life
that
is saying
being-
like, "Hey, tone it down, buddy."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Bill
also this person is surrounding herself with
Yes,
people
man.
who are with yes women. That,
Shut up.
Yes, queen.
Yeah,
that's women. Yeah.
But yeah, she's surrounding herself with people of a like mind who don't offer any pushback or any balance. So it seems very manic. Just everything of these videos we've seen in her personality seems very manic, very high pitched, energetic.
I think that
Holy
also
fuck.
just kind of goes into like the TikTok culture. You know, that's how you
Yeah.
got to be to piece the shit.
I guess
Holy shit. Mulvaney's professional acting career began in 2015. Her first significant role was in the musical The Book of Mormon. I might have
Oh.
seen
Oh yeah, that's right. You might have.
I might have
them
seen
in-
Dylan Mulvaney perform.
Yeah, I remember
I wonder
this
if I
now.
did.
They did. Well, you heard them sing. Like they know how to sing.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. We said
Yeah.
pretty
I
good.
guess that makes sense why they could sing.
Gabbles, any thoughts?
I literally just said like musicals. Come on.
That's it. That's all you gotta say.
I wonder who Dylan played in Book of Mormon.
You can look it up.
He played Mormons.
John
that-
Mormon.
Is that where Dylan met Ellen Page?
Oh my god.
Oh, maybe. That probably is.
Hmm.
Elliot Page, please. come.
Especially after. Well,
she
this
was
was
Ellen at the time.
trans,
I
yeah.
refuse to do this time warp nonsense.
You don't want to be
Let's
Jordan
do
Peterson.
time
Just
warp.
apologize.
Look, Elon Musk owns Twitter.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We are free now.
I can call Ellen all I want.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep
Let's see
rolling.
who cancels who now.
Yeah,
Liberals.
exactly. Let's see what this conversation. Obviously, it's 50 minutes long. We are not watching this whole thing.
Okay, yeah.
But let's see the kind of discussion.
Yeah. So this feels right.
It feels
But
right.
I also feel like I've known you for a long time, but I feel like we've seen each other through a few different chapters already.
We have. I have been following you, and I think in my own expression of my gender. Finding people in the online community who I related with was very important to my journey, especially in the beginning, because I'm only really 2 years into identifying as gender fluid. And at first I was like, I'm non-binary, and then gender fluid. So really what felt right for me. So you
want to surround yourself even on social media with those kinds of people too.
Absolutely. And social media can be a dark and heavy place.
Babe, I know it. I know it.
But it can be a very light and beautiful place. But, before we get into some of the fun stuff, I have to kick it off with something a little bit heavier.
Okay.
Just to get it out of the way.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead and pause it. That was fascinating.
Interesting, isn't it?
Surrounding on social media with like-minded people and things like that. And these are like two people who are like very young to the gender expression. I mean, Dylan, like, what did they say? Day 167, the 5.5 months of transitioning. Though I don't know when Dylan started.
And then the gender fluid guy is like 2 months in. What?
No, he said 2 years.
No, 2 years.
Oh, 2 years. 2 years. Still not like a super long time for.
I mean, that's 2020. Like 2020 wasn't that long ago. Like I know a lot of stuff has happened since then, but
I was gonna say though, like fucking, it's funny that this guy's saying, that Dylan's enlightening them to the experience, even though they have twice as much experience in being gender non-conforming than they have.
I don't know when Dylan started identifying as non-binary, because this guy says he's gender fluid. For the past 2 years, I'm sure.
Non-binary.
Yeah, I'm sure
now
Dylan
gender
is
fluid, and I don't know the difference between those two things.
I don't know either. I think it's just non-committal.
I'm just saying gender non-conforming.
I just like to wear long hair.
Yeah.
Dresses sometimes. Yep.
I think it's just a less committal identity, because they're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I don't want to.
You know what I noticed?
The hormone thing.
Did anyone notice Dylan's body language?
Kind of stiff and stuff.
Very stiff, yeah, like a doll, kind of like a Barbie doll. Like
yeah, especially with as I said, the housewife dress up.
Amazon knows what I'm talking about.
Oh. I didn't know.
A dark and heavy place.
Babe, I know it. I know it.
But it can be a very light way.
Oh, I'm just so
that head tilt.
We've been following each other for a long time.
Yeah.
So this feels right.
It feels
but
right.
I also feel like I've known you for a long time.
Oh, yeah, look at her. She's got the kung fu hands.
She's got the Disney wave hands.
We have. I have been following you, and I think.
See?
So when you go to a Disney park and the person has to like point you to like a location that you ask where it is, they have to like use their whole hand to point. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why I know that. I'm not a Disney.
Extremely Disney looking. It struck me as Barbie doll, and I think the dress helps with that too. Just like it looks like you're a doll that's been dressed up.
I prefer to say that she's just ready to karate chop a motherfucker at any point.
Yeah.
Dylan was kung fu fighting. I should be on Broadway.
Some of the fun stuff. I have to kick it off with something a little bit heavier.
Okay.
Just to get it out of the way.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Heavy.
Okay. Canopy beds. Do we love them or do we hate them?
Okay, I think we could skip it a little bit.
Okay, listen.
Canopy beds?
What?
Canopy beds.
No, canopy, where it's like it's got the cover on the top, like with the big bedposts, like old timey.
What kind of question? Everyone loves those. Come on.
Yeah, I know they are really cool.
Yeah, they're big gauche, but you know what? If you're dressing like this, you're living like this. Fuck it.
No average person can own a canopy bed, though. I mean, what's the average like ceiling height in a bedroom?
Like 10 feet.
Yeah, 10 feet. Yeah, there's no way you're owning a canopy bed. This is rich LA person talk. That's what's happening right here.
You're at college. You can find anything on there. But do you feel do you ever feel like you owe the internet anything, or do you feel like you're doing it on your own time?
I have never felt like I owed the internet anything other than making sure I show up authentically.
Yeah.
That is what I feel like. Oh, it actually started transcending into other areas of my life. I don't know if you experienced this, but when you start living authentically, and it's such a buzzword, like authentic.
Okay.
But, for people who are in therapy, It really does start transcending into other areas of your life with even the jobs you take, the work you do, the people you surround yourself with. So anything that didn't feel like it aligned with what I was showing up for digitally and socially, it had to not be there anymore.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Can you pause it?
Yeah, pause right here.
Wow, this is a fascinating conversation.
It is, especially this point on authenticity.
Well, no, but like because it ties into what we were talking about earlier with like vloggers, like and how we're like, how do they separate their like private life from their online persona? And he was like saying like, well, my online persona started to like meld with my normal life.
It becomes your authentic self.
Well, yeah, and like authentic self, like that's like personality, right? Authentic self. So do they mean personality the way that I meant it, where it's like you at your natural state, or like the way that we describe other people mean it, like where it's like what your social face, then that you project out into the world is your personality, you know?
What people expect of you.
Yeah.
Almost.
So like, is that like authentic self, like that, like the way that he uses that makes me feel like it's like a face that he's putting on. Like he just calls it authentic self, but it feels artificial, even though it's called authentic. Like a bit of a conflicting terms, you know, or like conflicting meaning of the term. I don't know.
Well, obviously they have to portray or try to portray some sort of level of authenticity as a performer,
right?
For like TikTok and all that jazz, because you know no one's gonna fucking eat it up if it's not real. They don't think,
or
if
it doesn't feel real, right?
Well, people seek authenticity in these social spaces because we kind of do it too with the people that we all watch. Like we're seeking like an authentic kind of person, like not somebody who's performing a show for us. So if you want to be a performer online and be like these people, then you have to figure out how to project an authenticity to gain more people in. So you almost have to like fake being authentic.
Yeah, because I mean, one of the weird contradictions is that if you're too authentic, people don't like that.
Right. Yeah, if you're too real, like Kanye.
A little too based.
Because to some degree, when it's too authentic, people see it as sort of boring, or it doesn't have the punch up that's needed to be entertaining and interesting. But if you can strike that balance of it is a performance, but it looks authentic and you feel like it's authentic, even though maybe in your heart of hearts, you know, it's an act. That's
an artificial authenticity.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you think about it, who wants to watch a movie of people sitting around in their living room
not doing anything
and talking about the weather or something? No one wants to see that.
I don't know. Boyhood sold pretty well.
It took 12 years to make.
12 years to make, you know?
Yeah. Well, Richard Linklater's a tough talented man.
I think there's kinds of movies that are overly authentic to the point where people don't like them.
Yeah.
It has to strike that balance of, you know, it's not technically authentic, but it strikes that level of, okay, things have a rhythm to it that feels real to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's
there's
probably
elements
what's
that we
going
can
on
still
here
grasp
is these are people in California. These are people in the acting world. They know how to hit these beats. You know, they know how to strike that
play the game.
Balance and play the game of looking authentic while really not being authentic.
Oh, so that just brings up a point that I've talked about a number of times off screen about just story making in general, and in particular for whenever some people talk about like slice of life, and when people say slice of life, but they actually mean a drama story, and there's a big difference. It goes to a great quote from Shakespeare that drama is just life without all the boring parts. And it's true. It is true. That is literally what that is. But the fact is that that's not inherently life. There's more to it. Life without the fucking slow bits, without the boring bits, is not life at all. And that's when you get into the inauthenticity of these people and this sort of play. And it goes into the mentality that we were talking about people who have to like put on this performance all the time. It's like you when you don't know how to shut off or don't know how to really do that, like who are you when you don't have any of the boring bits, when you have to physically like change that aspect of yourself? Like, I don't know.
It's interesting because there's like, well, I was thinking about that, like, because we were talking about like social media stars and turning off the authenticity, but like just like in all entertainment, like you were talking about, we do seek that authenticity. Like, have you ever heard of Sidney Lumet? Do you know who that director is?
Yeah, he
no.
did 12 Angry Men and Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
Dog Day Afternoon and like Serpico, and like his movies are always really known for their like authentic dialogue in them, like very real dialogue. And the way he used to do it was he would actually like go to bars and like bring a tape recorder and just like record the way that people talk
Cool.
and things like that and work that into his scripts. But like that's just like the lengths to go to get that authentic feel. And I think,
and even then, I'm sure he edited down, right?
right?
You
Yeah,
get
he,
it
like
trimmed down.
yeah.
You emulate it. You get a facsimile of reality.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was getting at, is that it creates a facsimile of reality. And I think that ties really well into these types of internet people that do their lives, and how he was talking about how it now informs his personal life as to how he behaves online. And I don't know.
That's kind of the only problem is, yeah, that sort of way of thinking, it's very fucking self-destructive almost. I cannot imagine living life like that. It's poison.
Yeah, this is why I never want this show to be big.
I thought it was because we're allergic to money.
See, I'll go kind of the third quarter here and see if there's anything interesting there. Then we'll look at the last video.
It's an interesting. I'm going to listen to this whole thing. Like, this is fascinating.
Like a psychological deep dive.
Yeah.
Give us the zap notes.
Love that. The sparkle of being on stage, right? But it was never like, oh my God, this character is amazing. No. And I never could see myself, like I was always playing these like little, kind of young boy characters that were like, but I never saw myself ever playing like a man's role. I was like, that's just never, I'm so glad I made it here.
I don't like how she, I'm sorry, I don't like how she said that. I was playing young boy characters, went, never, and I mean never, ever reference, say young boys and then go in the same sentence. Don't do it.
To be fair, they were
little boys do sound like that. Let's be real.
And to be fair, they were in Book of Mormon, so I mean,
like that sound should not be coming out of an adult's mouth in reference to little boys.
I'll bet you dollars to donuts that Dylan Mulvaney is the one that sung the "Turn It Off Like a Light Switch." It goes click. It's a neat little Mormon trick. Yeah. And especially the one that has to tamp down homosexual feelings. I have a feeling she played that character.
She was a natural.
She figured it out. She got that switch.
Only it wasn't the Mormon version. It was just what they call the Iranian switch.
Right.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, that is so bad.
I remember I went to school for theater, and I remember I got a scene from A Few Good Men, and I remember my teacher drilling into me after I would leave class the note on the script, "Oh, it's too soft. You're too soft. You're too soft." I remember thinking like, what the hell is too soft? What is that? I mean, this is. I'm not going to age myself. I'm 30 something years old, but this was, early 2000s. So it was still, I feel like, okay to say that. I mean, it's never okay to say that to anybody,
like
but it was
perk in my book now.
I was like, now I'm like, oh, I'm not soft enough.
Oh yeah. Let's soften up, baby. Actually a teacher in college, asked me to attend a Walk Like a Straight Man seminar once.
What?
And we had all the gay boys in my class, like, held for a special session, and we walked across the room, and I think she kind of just let me go. It was like your dad when you were 10 when you walked in for Betty Boop. Like, she was like, all right,
Pause
that one, there's no hope here.
That's kind of fucked up.
Did you
your class?
How did I go? I always swished. I'm a swisher.
The class didn't take.
I actually I have to God, this sounds so bad.
I'm almost. It's got to be the class was an acting class.
Yeah. No, I probably was an acting class. Yeah, I don't think
it's
that.
like you want to act as a straight character. You got to learn to act, to walk like that one. Yeah.
No. Like they're like that's funny that you brought up its acting class because I had it in my mind that it was like the school's like okay we got to teach these gay boys how to walk straight, but no,
If only.
but no, it's so interesting because there are
make it
That'd
right
be based in red pilled.
but there are so many like gay theater kids. I'll bet you that has to be like okay, hey, you know, Lyle, here's how to walk like a here's how to walk like a Mark. Well, I guess
Lyle, you're kind of flaming right now.
What's a straight name? What's like a real straight name? A Jim. A Jim.
Randy. No wait.
I'll bet you that they do have to teach, you know, because I have to put effort sometimes into like walking straight.
Well, yeah,
like a straight guy.
Shocker, the other podcaster is also a theater kid.
Of course. Yeah.
Funny how that works.
Look, I'll just say this: as somebody who was in speech and debate, and also took an acting class and a radio class in high school, and who was also it was also in a couple theater productions, one of which let me play Pugsley Adams. I will say this:
you're natural.
Beat up your theater kids. Beat theater kids. They need to go to the back of the bus and get beaten to and from school every single day.
Yeah, toughen them up.
I mean, if you want good performers in the future, you know, just saying.
Yeah, because they gotta suffer.
Michael Jackson's dad didn't go far enough. You gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was just the king of pop. He could have been the king of so many other things. I just
just
king of not.
Also, this picture.
Wow, that's a little too much. You know, he was more like a duke of that. So quite near the top. He had some flaws.
Also, just imagine Danimal in high school walked around like Raggedy Andy from Raggedy Ann and Andy: A Musical Adventure.
I don't want to talk about how
the fact that you know that reference.
What, you've never seen Raggedy Ann and Andy: A Musical Adventure?
No, I'm not gay.
Shut up.
So,
get us off this topic.
As we transition away from this video, I want to just reflect for a moment. It is a fascinating psychological look into this character, this person who is the Dylan Mulvaney. What does this have to do with women? I mean, did anything that they said in these couple minutes have anything to do with the female experience?
Yeah, why is Alta hosting this?
It's
like, why is
it's
it
all about
Alta?
like acting and being a flamboyant gay man in the acting world so far.
Yeah, this just seems like a gossip thing almost.
Well, it's not even gossip. They're not talking about any. They're just talking about themselves and like their acting.
I wonder if this is what the Forbes speech was like.
Yeah,
like talking about this.
And then I went to a course, and they told me I was too soft, and then I learned I had to be really authentic. And then
can you imagine if you're like the female like COO or like CFO of like a major Fortune 500 or even something that's near that, and you go to this, like, you get invited to this Forbes talk, and it's fucking Dylan Mulvaney talking about this fucking TikTok shit.
And I mean, and I hope like maybe they get into women's stuff somewhere in there, that 50 minutes. But
yeah, I was gonna say there is a whole friggin' podcast here.
Yeah, maybe they talk more about it, but of what I heard, I can't see women being like, yes, this speaks to my experience. Well, let's glance at the next one, because really important. After getting in trouble with Alta, or rather getting Alta in trouble with feminists, then Dylan took a step up and got to talk to our
At Capital One, agile engineering teams work hand in hand with our lines of business. That's how we built Early Paycheck, which will optimize payroll transactions and expedite direct deposits, getting customers their paychecks up to 2 days sooner. That's technology at Capital One.
I was gonna say, I don't know about you.
My favorite one he's like to go deeper. He's like Frank Reynolds when he has the mortician makeup on, except like a little more skin tone to it.
So Dylan got to step up and talk to the Joe Biden himself.
Devils, what is this? I didn't know she was trans. I thought she was German.
True.
Dylan got to go to the White House and talk about trans rights.
Did he get sniffed?
Hopefully.
No, Joe Biden.
Everyone
I don't.
gets a good free.
That's the real gender affirming getting sniffed by Joe Biden.
It's like Joe Biden walks up to him.
Gender affirming thing.
Oh, you're not the kind of woman that I'm looking for.
No, Joe would be like,
"Little too old for me.
This isn't real hair. It doesn't smell the same. Get it
You're a little too old of a vintage for my taste, honey."
From Now This, our favorite
Everyone just
YouTube
went
channel.
quiet after that one.
We're going to move on now to trans rights. There have been many anti-LGBTQ+ bills introduced and enacted, outlawing things like gender-affirming healthcare and banning kids from playing sports. To go deeper into this issue, here with us today is Dylan Mulvaney, who's welcomed us into her life by, showing on social media her Girlhood series. Let's take a look.
My name is Dylan Mulvaney. I am a trans woman, and I am documenting my transition publicly on TikTok for the world
president
to
is
see.
watching this
When
right
people
now.
started watching and the numbers kept getting
Presidential
higher,
TikTok.
I realized quickly how public my transition would be. Of course, I knew that there would be
boy.
backlash.
Why
and
does it
negativity.
What do you think is going through
I'm
Joe
trying to
Biden's
let the
head?
internet's words hurt me or my spirit.
Dimension.
But do you know what does hurt?
Besides
Seeing
that.
people in power and authority
not much
figures
is going through his
creating
head right
laws
now,
and bills
except-
that are actively trying to harm us trans humans, especially trans children.
Transhumanists?
Our lives have become political talking points. Lawmakers in many
How
states
little
want
of a
to
shit do you
exclude
think
us
Joe
from
Biden is giving
participating
right
in
now?
sports or getting proper
Joe Biden
healthcare. Some
has
folks
more
want
of
to
a shit to
decide where we
give
can use the
after his bread
bathroom.
muffin than
No one should have
on
fear
what
living in a
is.
state that they call home while being true to themselves. No one should have their lives put in danger because of who they are inside.
Joe Biden's thinking about
That's
what
why
he's going
I'm
to have
sharing my
tomorrow
story
for
with the world.
breakfast. He's
I'm
thinking
using my
about he's got
platform
shit.
to
I got
stand up
that
for
thing
my
at
community
3
and
o'clock
for
with
any of the little
Sununu. I got to
Dylans
do a
that
call
deserve
with
a clear
him.
path to their true identity.
Imagine being
Mr.
your
President,
king.
this is my 221st day of publicly transitioning.
God love you.
Thank you. I am
Love it.
extremely privileged to live in a state that allows me
transition.
access to the resources
that
I
jump
need,
cut?
and that decision is just between me and my doctors. But many states have lawmakers that feel like they can involve themselves in this very personal process. Do you think states should have a right to ban gender-affirming health care?
I don't think any state or anybody should have the right to do that. As a moral question and as a legal question. I just think it's wrong. I think I was saying before we started that my son, my deceased son, used to be the Attorney General of the state of Delaware. He passed the broadest piece of legislation that he, as Attorney General, was able to convince the legislature and the governor to sign.
Well, I didn't catch that.
All gender-affirming capability. I mean, there's a lot of, sometimes they try to block you from being able to access certain medicines, being able to access certain procedures, and so on. None of that should be available. I mean, no state.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Did you see Dylan's face?
Wait, I didn't
just
see it.
read it.
Go back.
We gotta replay that. We gotta replay that.
Can we please?
To convince the legislature and the governor to sign that dealt with all gender-affirming capability. I mean, there's a lot of, sometimes they try to block you from being able to access certain medicines, being able to access certain procedures, and so on. None of that should be available. I mean, no state should be able to do that. in my view. So I feel very, very strongly
Can you pause
that you should.
I take back everything I said about him thinking about what he has late in the afternoon.
You know what?
He's
If
not
he runs
thinking.
it- if he runs it, fuck it. If he runs this again a second time,
We gotta. Oh my god! Did you also see the clip of him with Elton John where he said like,
yeah.
"Thanks to Elton John,
his
we have
family
to do."
spent billions in AIDS research. Elton John doesn't even have HIV.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Well, that we know of.
You're a homo, right?
Oh my god!
I'm probably gonna get it anyway.
Oh, Joe Biden. Joe Biden.
Oh.
Oh.
Does anyone else?
How has that clip not made the rounds? How has that not made the rounds?
None of that should be available. I mean, wait, no, the states shouldn't be able to do that.
My son returned to Delaware. Convention legislators going to sign.
They have to get a lot of medical treatment and care, and I don't think that should be available. I mean, that should be.
Oh my god! I love how we came in here with a head full of steam to dunk on Dylan, and then we just get sideways.
Yeah, it's Joe Biden, man.
Yeah, it's like good old Ramblin' Joe.
He's
Ramblin' Joe.
the reigning king, man.
Probably
We got George
Every
W. Bush back,
solitary
basically,
right,
in the form of Joe Biden.
including use of your gender identity bathrooms in public.
Thank you.
What?
Thank you. And it feels like Republicans have turned trans and non-binary people into this thing to blame society's downfall on in some ways. And this narrative is not only dangerous to our mental health, but also our physical safety. And particularly trans women of color are being murdered at an alarming rate.
More than any other group of people.
Thank you. How can Democratic leaders
go
be
ahead,
more
pause that.
No. You
Puts
know
his
who's
finger
being
up
murdered
like
at a higher rate?
Gang members.
Black men.
Yeah.
Just black heterosexual regular men.
Yeah, but nobody gives a shit about black guys.
Genderqueer?
I mean, there's questions about rate, I guess, but there's so few actual murders, and most of them of, say, trans people are going to involve the sex trade, because that's where most of these murders happen.
So many of them become
Or they're
prostitutes.
domestic, like it's their partners who kill them, and it's obviously not a trans.
Yeah, it's not like a hate. Yeah.
Also, I want to point out, the way he said more than any other group of people, he put his finger up is like, yes, more than any other group of
Like
people.
the number one.
And then Dylan says, "Thank you."
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, try it. Dylan is clearly coached. He's trying
Joe
to keep
Biden's
it all
clearly
together.
coached. Are you kidding me?
I have all my note cards here.
He was way too excited that he remembered to say that.
Have you guys,
They're number one.
Have you guys seen
this part?
Have you guys seen
was
the,
number one. I was
You're
supposed to say this at the start.
Have you guys seen the memes of Joe Biden where he's like pretending to be senile? He's actually secretly like a based Catholic working for the Pope. I feel like it's one of those moments where you're like he's like a mask off, where it's like, yes, none of that should be available.
Yes, Your Highness, we're about to ban HRT all throughout the nation.
Yes, Your Holiness, the Protestants have been dealt with.
It's just so awkward.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Effective in advocating for us trans people and our families and our lives and our opportunities.
I'm not being facetious when I say this, being seen with people like you. No, I mean it. I genuinely mean it. People fear what they don't know. They fear what they don't know. And when people realize, individuals realize, oh, this is what they're telling me to be frightened of, this is the problem, I mean, people change their minds. People just don't know enough to know. And it's not because of intellectual incapability, it's just lack of exposure. And I think that it's really important that we continue to speak out about the basic fundamental rights of all human beings. And the idea that what's going on, in some states.
Just stop here, Joe. You're doing great.
Stop
here.
Stop.
In some states, it's outrageous, and I think it's immoral. The trans part's not immoral. What they're trying to do to trans persons.
Someone said in that line.
Like,
You sure about that?
Clarify. Hold on. I feel like
I do it like when he started. See, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. When he goes on too long is when I start getting nervous.
yeah.
Can you imagine the size of like the teleprompter behind Dylan Mulvaney just like burning into his skin?
Over here. You're.
Oh yeah. Oh, poor Dylan.
Screen.
It's probably frying all her ends. The heat coming off the teleprompter behind her.
It's giving him
You
radiation.
know, when he said, we just need exposure, I was nervous.
Yeah.
We need to expose trans people to kids.
That's why they got those
lots of
clothes.
exposure. Yeah.
It's like a big sign that goes up like, don't wink, don't wink, don't wink.
Joe, no sniffing.
That was a pretty good little speech though by Joe Biden. Let's give him credit there. Can we?
He held it together. I was worried when he touched his forehead and looked a little pained, but
And he's pretty correct. Like, like people fear what they don't know, and when they know more, they tend not to fear it.
It was
But
fine.
I
It
mean,
felt very practiced, but
Yes, Your Holiness.
Oh, this whole
The trans menace has been dealt with, Your Holiness.
why is like I get that the president goes on like news junkets, but like why is there like a now this set like in the White House? Like that's kind of weird, right?
they have money and they're basically a propaganda machine.
Yeah,
for
sure.
the Democratic Party.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think it's just weird. Like I don't know. Like you should have to, like, if you're president, you should go to an offsite studio that's owned by them instead of them coming to the White House and setting up their studio in the White House.
Also, am I correct in noting that Dylan did not ask a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not
I
a
know.
question.
It's
Come on.
This is a Joe Biden show.
You just
This
said a
isn't the
statement
Dylan Mulvaney show.
inviting him to say another statement. That's all this is.
People were pretending that this is like, oh, Dylan Mulvaney is going to advise the president. Just like, that's not like, do you get what is this like their first day watching politics? Like every single thing
for a number of them, yes, actually.
Yeah, sure. Well, every single president does this, where they have somebody come to the White House so then the president can speak to the camera with the people with this person next to them. Like she's not going to like advise the president.
Yeah, understanding about 40% of what's happening, just running off whatever.
Oh my god, she's a trophy. She's a trophy puppet.
This is a campaign commercial for his base, is what this is. This isn't anything like, oh, he's informing or she's informing U.S. policy. Like, come on.
Not yet.
And do you have any messages to the families of trans folks that are seeking, options for their children, but are struggling to find resources? Do you have a message to those parents?
Yeah, I do. This is blood of your blood, bone of your bone. And
what did he say about his bone?
Can you own it?
It is.
You can take him back.
Again, speaking to my son,
Drink that blood.
No amendment of the Constitution is absolute.
Spent a year in Iraq, and he was a decorated soldier. He volunteered to go. He had to give up the Attorney General's job, and then came back to it. And
is he still alive?
he started a foundation. I'm not allowed to talk about now because I can't raise money for it any longer. But it was for abused children.
He's been talked to by lawyers.
And one of the things he did is raise millions of dollars, this organization, to basically educate parents as to what they should not be afraid of, and to educate the community as to what is just pure hyperbole. So I just think it's a matter of...
Wait, hang on. Can you pause it? Can you pause it?
Okay, what was that?
He just kind of fucked up again because he said like we need to go out and educate parents on like what they should be looking for, and most of it is pure hyperbole. But I think Dylan wants him to be like, yes, we should be educating parents on like trans stuff.
Most of it is pure hyperbole.
Hyperbole was supposed to be connected to the fears that
right
have,
I think
but
so.
It didn't. He like dropped some words in the middle there.
Yeah, not all the synapses are firing in Joe's brain today.
That was a bit of a fuck up. Oh. That was not as bad as the first fuck up that we paused for 15 minutes to laugh at.
None of that should be available. That's just a classic. That's a classic.
How has that not been clipped? How has that not been clipped?
I like this freeze frame here.
We gotta clip it. We gotta take it out of cut. We gotta put it on Twitter.
Yeah, Gabbles.
Yeah, this freeze frame is like the second Dylan Mulvaney became a Republican. Fuck you.
Oh God.
We're gonna see
Jesus Christ.
Trump.
Are we gonna see Dylan Mulvaney be interviewed by Matt Walsh? Please.
Do you think this trip to the White House was everything Dylan Mulvaney was hoping it would be?
No.
In this specific moment?
Extremely disenchanting.
Why are all these photos of Ashley Biden lying around the floor?
Some aide just comes to and mops them away.
Now.
Make sure you put those back in the baseball card holder.
As I told you, I mentioned a young woman who used to be in his staff, used to be in my staff, who is now a state senator. And she's trans, and she's a state senator in the state of Delaware, in an area that was historically very conservative, the part of Delaware. And she's running unopposed this time. So things are changing. But it's a matter of us acknowledging that there's nothing to be, just because it's different, there's nothing to be fearful about.
Yeah, that's it.
Touching. I'm inspired. Are we inspired?
Yeah, it's when Joe Biden's around, everything gets a little touchy.
Ow.
Okay. All right. Well, that was all I had for you. 2.5 hours. That's good. We had
that was
content. It was
that
interesting.
Was fantastic.
Yes,
that was fascinating.
Fascinating, like a little bit of psychology and culture. And final thoughts, Tennyson.
I I think overall the case of Dylan Mulvaney is not a very happy one. It seems to be, like I've said before, a lot of these videos show attention-seeking behavior, like validation and being happy at being validated in a really shallow way. It's
You're
like
so
Dylan is-
dramatic with everything you say, Jenny.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well,
Keep going.
Yeah,
but my point is, like, Dylan Mulvaney seems like a very attention-seeking person, and also a very shallow person in her understanding of what it means to be a woman. It seems like a lot of that is her idea of womanhood is fixated on clothes, shopping, hair, very shallow traits that ultimately don't get to the core of what it means to be a woman or what it means to be a person in general. And I'm not sure how it's going to play out in the future. I'll reserve judgment until perhaps some new development happens. But that's my two cents.
2 cents.
That's what they're called.
Did you forget what it was?
Look, Jack, here's the deal. Look, fat. Look, listen. Look. Look, Barack America, President Barack America, none of that should be available. Like,
Didn't he call himself? He like called himself senator again the other day, didn't he? Oh, Joe. Oh, Joe.
Joe.
He announced his run for president, by the way.
We all voted for Joe, right? Right?
Yeah.
Gabbles definitely voted for Joe.
I voted.
Well, yeah,
twice.
he's like the number one demographic of the Democratic Party.
Hey, Gabbles loved it. They said he could come back and vote as much as he wanted that day, and boy, did he take advantage of it. They gave him animal crackers,
a special little gold.
Did you get a Capri Sun?
He got a Capri Sun.
Oh my god! You didn't tell me what flavor Capri Sun it was.
It was tropical.
Tropical was the best. All right,
Orange
Gabbles. Final impressions.
Well, I think it's completely believable. Honestly, I do think Dylan Mulvaney is a woman, considering how shallow and fashion obsessed.
I agree.
Devoid of any personality other than TikToks and tampons and dresses.
Yeah.
Case closed.
Case closed.
Danimal.
I'm just the more and more of these like trans vlogger personalities that get famous and they like talk about their experiences. I think it's meant to have the opposite effect than the effect it has on me, where it just kind of solidifies like, man, this is such like a different life and a different experience than a biological woman. And it makes that more apparent than I think the intended effect is to be like, this is just like a woman.
Yeah, so you were just like you and me.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
I
think
that's just my true feelings about it.
It's a legitimate way to see it. I think going in for myself, I wasn't sure if I was going to be convinced of how genuine it was, because I'd seen a few short clips and they seemed very over the top and silly. But I think the process of sitting through it all, I do think it's genuine. I do think this person has a very
100%.
A very warped sort of view on life, almost. They don't quite understand the dynamics of fitting into a society. So they kind of have this, I think the parasocial comparison is really apt here. Like this TikTok, it's performative. This is someone who comes out of the theater and they're living their life like an actor on a stage all the time until it's just become what they are. And they can't quite escape it. And it's like a level of self-delusion that is kind of disconcerting to watch. So I didn't feel angry. I don't think I felt a lot less angry than I thought I would be. I just felt very like,
I felt kind of pity
and sort of sad. Like, this person I don't think is having a fully self-conscious existence.
Yeah, and I don't think any of those behaviors you described are like specific to her being trans.
Yeah,
like I think
that's like a lot to do with her being trans at all. I think it has just the personality type.
Yeah, and the social media.
Yeah, and social media. And that was the other thing I wanted to touch on, because I think the other reason I felt pity is I feel like these corporations and companies have really done her a disservice by glomming onto her and using her as like this prop for their own clout. It's like, no, this person does not need to be on TikTok. They do not need to be put in front of a women's conference to talk about business. They don't need to be on a makeup podcast.
Yeah.
This person needs to be like talking to their family and friends and their doctor.
People who care about them.
And,
nice support group.
Form genuine relationships. They should be, doing all that. And maybe you're reading a book or something. I don't know. Something intellectual.
Or even like just to like, because like we were talking about, I mean, transitioning is not the easiest thing in the world, and probably being with people who genuinely care about you during the beginning stages of this process, at the very least.
Yeah, and I think probably they just aren't very good at picking good people to be around.
Yeah,
they're kind of just around vultures of the media world, and I don't.
That's what it seems like. Yeah, for sure.
Amazon, go ahead.
So I just had a terrible thought about this because I remember her mentioning like, making this series of Days of Girlhood, and how one day she'll look back and be like, oh, look at all the progress of me, and this is how we started, blah blah blah. And it's I had a terrifying thought of, what if you looked back on like these vlogs and you couldn't tell yourself what part of these were genuine and which parts were an act. What part was influenced by this fact you were broadcasting this on social media, and how much were you specifically was just you being yourself.
Right.
It's like making a diary for someone else.
Yeah, if you recorded it in private and kept it for yourself.
It'd be a great journalistic thing.
Yeah, but to immediately publish day by day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And set yourself up to respond to everything. Probably reading comments. And
God.
like you can, let me see if I can pull up the
the YouTube comments.
Like and dislike ratio. Which is boy.
And like I said, I mean, like I've seen mean ass shit out there about Dylan Mulvaney, like people like really trying to like tear Dylan Mulvaney down.
Yeah,
and like that's got
to
be tough to
comments
see.
Are turned off on Ulta Beauty.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's made the rounds.
Presidential forum. You can see the like dislike ratio: 1.6 likes to 13,000 dislikes.
Wow.
Top comment, goodness, doesn't matter what your beliefs are, watching Joe Biden try and complete a full sentence is like pulling teeth.
I think that was our...
That's it, yeah.
Most of them are about Biden. Anytime Biden talks, I'm reminded of Michael Scott.
He steals the show.
Sometimes I start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way. Okay.
I mean, it was the Biden show. That's why this happened, was for the Biden show. It wasn't to talk about trans
TikTok
rights.
Compilation. Let's see. We got the fact that women allow this and coddle this is the reason we are where we are today. Before any dude says that feminism did this, millions of women would not have lost their rights to control their bodies if it weren't for women who allowed it. Okay. Gotta love someone who knows so much about girlhood yet has never and will never actually experience it.
Wow.
How do I do, ladies? 10 out of 10 for your misogyny and sexist sex stereotyping. So that was the TikTok compilation, got 145 likes to 973 dislikes.
I could definitely see people getting pissed.
Yeah, people were not happy with that.
Yeah.
So.
But like I said, I mean, it's people
people who see really short clips and I think knee-jerk reaction, I think would understandably be like, what is this? What is this cartoon clown that I'm watching prance around on my screen?
Yeah. I mean, how many minutes of Dylan content did we just watch? We watched like maybe
10 minutes, I think.
Like maybe no, we watched like 30 minutes
plus
however much we skipped around in Alta.
Yeah.
So like maybe like 25 minutes or something. And like I get the sense that like Dylan's like a genuine person and not this like perv. And like people are painting Dylan as. So like even in like a short 25 minutes, you can get that from this person. So I think it is just people who have seen like maybe just tweets about it, because I never knew.
They're trying to see what they want to see from it.
Are there personality disorders in there? Probably. Not gonna say no. That doesn't make them a bad person, obviously. People
Yeah.
have personality disorders, and that's just something they struggle with. You know, shades of sort of histrionic behavior, sort of the very dramatic, very sort of narcissistic, but also
Yeah,
insecure.
for sure.
Just all that kind of mixed in there.
Yeah, for sure. But like, I didn't know anything. Like, I'd never even seen Dylan. I've never even heard Dylan talk until this. We just sat down and watched these videos, and that's the sense I get from it. So I don't know. I think Dylan's relatively harmless.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Leave Dylan alone.
Yeah, I don't think Dylan deserves the hate because it seems like Dylan's like kind of being used a bit, and Dylan is also putting herself out there to be used.
Yeah,
but
some of them
why
want to
not?
use
Money,
for sure.
attention.
Yeah, it is
This
money.
is-
I mean, Dylan's making a lot of money. Like, let's not
But
throw
the-
shade at that. But
and the attention is like the gold, though.
this doesn't seem like because I see like tweets about this be like, this is the trans agenda taking away.
I've
women's
seen
rights.
people on trans Reddit be very upset that Dylan is the spokesperson now.
Yeah.
They're like, really, this person?
Yeah.
They don't like it either, and I can understand why. It's not a good look.
But yeah, it seems to me Dylan's real harmless. That's my final word on it.
Yeah.
All right. Any last words? I think we can wrap up.
Well, I just wanted to say, so like I've said it before, and it mirrors pretty much what Danimal was talking about. Like this, more than anything, it is naive. Someone just kind of going in with what the expected mindset of what a woman is supposed to be, and that's kind of shaped what it is, and kind of leaning on that. And like I said, she's a puppet. She's a tool for the most part. And it's all kind of part of the game. And I hate that this is kind of the way that a number of social media like performers have become. Like TikTok stars, like as terrible and toxic, for lack of a better word, as this popularity is, this is kind of the end game for a lot of people. Like this is what they strive for. Bitch got it on TV with the fact. Well, not TV, but they got on a show with the president. You can't really say. Who can really say that?
At risk of extending this podcast out even further than we already are, is this because we've definitely seen this type of content. We may have watched this type of content on the show of like things that you would characterize as encouraging somebody to transition that may have been on the fence about it. I don't see that from this. And that's kind of what I see it being presented as. Like, do you think that somebody would watch this and be inspired to transition?
Not from her specifically, but I could definitely see it from like the other shows that she's on, from like the other podcasts and things. Like they would definitely like, hey, maybe it's like this is great.
Maybe.
I'm trying to go ahead.
It wouldn't be. She doesn't talk much about gender dysphoria or like the very technical parts of it. It's just sort of a very surface level. I'm a girl. Look at me doing girl things.
I am a woman. Hear me roar.
Which I don't think would really encourage anyone to transition, except maybe if they were. I mean, I think the worst thing I could say about it is it's very glamorized.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I'm kind of
very, but to their credit, right? When they talked about HRT, they at least kind of hinted that okay, it's a medical thing. You should talk to a doctor. I'm trying to be cautious because I want to maintain my fertility or have some sort of plan.
Yeah, that's good.
Not just flinging themselves at it and being like, everything's fine and great, and you should take HRT, and here's the link to buying it in Thailand. And, it's not quite that. I think Dylan is older and a little less like that.
Right. Yeah. I'm kind of okay with Dylan not going into like gender dysphoria, what it is, like how it feels. Because like I think I mentioned that in the last episode with Jamie Dodger, whatever his name was. Where like he like kind of like put the onus on like trans people to be like ultra informed with all these studies, and like you need to know this stuff to a T of like what you are and go through this and be able to explain it fully. And just like I think that's such a bad chain to put around a trans person's neck to like force them to defend themselves. Like I'm fine with Dylan not going too deep into it. I don't think that any trans person should have to justify their existence in that way.
Yeah, that seems. Well, it also seems really too complicated for the average Joe whether they're pro-trans or anti-trans, it just seems kind of silly to try to counter bigotry with a bunch of scientific data.
Yeah.
Because
Now I think
like a bigot's not going to listen to studies because what does it matter to him, right?
Yeah, they don't care. But like, but
There's
I think that you
already
can't.
content out there.
True.
I think to some degree, if you're a creator like this, you have to think, what am I adding to the ecosystem that's not already been done a million times?
Yeah.
That's probably what they were thinking going into this sort of 100 days of girlhood. It was probably not done before. Live broadcasting the first 100 days of transition.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think that that's ever really been done at this scale, like in terms of viewership.
Now, does that make them an expert? And should they have done it? Those are separate questions, I think.
Right.
Yeah, those we can debate on forever.
Although I will say, like when I said like trans people shouldn't have to justify their existence, like I mean like people like Dylan Mulvaney, people like Contra, but I don't mean people like that gender fluid bearded guy.
Yeah.
Like you kind of do need to, you need to justify yourself there, buddy. Like you're gonna be calling yourself gender fluid. Like, come on, man, what the fuck is this? Like, who are you?
You look like he was trans 70s.
It's just about bottom
trans generation. Okay.
Yeah.
Trans decade. Although I feel like
I'm a Zoomer in a millennial's body.
All right, are we good?
I think so. All right. Well, thank you all for coming, and let's say goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, boys.
Number 5, therapy. I go every single week, I unload all of my problems, and I don't feel guilty because I pay the guy. Also, prescription medication helps, so we're all a work in progress, aren't we? Love ya.